Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Max Sanchez, and I'm joined here by my partner Cameron Castillo. And we're broadcasting to you live, courtesy of LCPS TV at the Field of Dreams, where the Onate Knights are about to take on the Mayfield Trojans. Cameron, why don't you give us a bit of the lowdown and tell me something you expect from both teams?
Well, Max, something that I'm really looking for tonight is the matchup between the extremely talented and powerful Onate Knights defense. You and I had the chance to watch them earlier in the season, and they are legit, going up against this Mayfield offense that has two skill players who are committed to go to school for free to play football at Kent State, Isaac Vance, and Gavin Swinson's committed to New Mexico State. So I think it's going to be a great matchup between the Mayfield offense tonight and the Onate defense.
For sure, I'm very, very excited. Isaac Vance is very, very talented. He's initially from Ohio, and he dropped 132 yards on Carlsbad last week. However, you can't sleep on that Onate offense with talented running backs like Sal Yanez and Jake Elmore.
You know, Max, and when we saw the game a couple weeks ago with Onate, they are a very traditional power running offense. They're going to shove it down your throat to get to the end zone, and that's what we saw in their game a couple weeks ago, and I expect the same thing tonight. However, Mayfield is definitely a lot more talented than the Sandia Matadors, who Onate played in the game we saw a couple weeks ago. So I think it's going to be a more balanced and even matchup this evening.
And this is the first game that we're going to be playing at the Field of Dreams, which is going to be a matchup between two high schools in the city. And I'd be interested to see, I know that Onate mainly sticks to their run game, but Aaron Sanchez, we've seen some talent out of the few snaps that he took last time, and we'll see if they start to play him more this time.
He does. I think he only threw the ball maybe 7 or 8 times last game, but when he did get the chance to air it out, his arm looked really, really good. So maybe if the run game's not working tonight against the strong Mayfield front seven, they'll let him air it out.
For sure. And then as far as the Mayfield offense goes, along with Isaac Vance, they also have quarterback Torrey Laughlin. Now, I'm not very sure about Torrey, but I mean, with weapons like Isaac on his team, I'm sure he can accomplish quite a bit.
Well, Laughlin stands at 6'2" and weighs about 190 pounds, and he's only a junior, so he's got good size for a quarterback, especially in the 11th grade. He's got another year to grow and mature, but his number one favorite target is none other than Gavin Swinson, the wide receiver who's committed to go to school at New Mexico State, and I expect a lot for him tonight. He's lit up opponents so far this season, and I expect the same from him tonight.
I completely agree. Now, we'll see if that 1-2 punch can take on this Onate secondary, which I'm not sure of the exact stats of the Sandia game, and I know they held them to quite a little amount of offensive points. Now, we are about 17 minutes out, so we got a while longer to talk to you guys. Both teams are out right now. Captains are flipping the coin. That's Onate student section seems to be getting pretty energized right now, trying to pack it up.
And Max, there's definitely, I've noticed, we've only been here for about 30 minutes, but there's a different energy tonight. We've been to 3 games here this season, but there's a different energy because it's two powerhouse Las Cruces schools going up against each other for the first time in this 2016 football season. So I'm real excited.
Me too, Cameron. I mean, it's all part of the culture down here. I mean, you know, people live for this kind of stuff. I mean, the rivalries, and I think not to stray too far off, but I think Cruces and Centennial might be having a rivalry start now.
Yeah, definitely, Max. And I know we're at an Onate Mayfield game, but I think October 22nd, folks, circle that on your calendar. That's going to be a good one. Saturday night, it should get interesting between those two.
It'll be very, very interesting, Cameron.
Max, one of the things we forgot to mention in our intro, how could we forget about Matt Young?
Of course, Cameron, how could we forget about Matt Young? Now, Matt Young is committed to New Mexico State right now, and his fellow linebacker, Forrest McKee, son of legendary Coach McKee, has also turned down an offer to New Mexico State.
I'm real excited to see Matt Young tonight. 6'3", 235 pounds. He lines up at outside linebacker and fullback, and we saw him against Sandia, just an imposing and a crazy force out there. He stood and towered over all those Sandia Matadors and was quick off the line of scrimmage and had a lot of tackles for loss in that game.
Very impressive. Now, it looks like most of the Onate team has gone back to the locker room, whereas Mayfield is still out here practicing. How do you think coming into this first inter-city game, do you think that Coach Mike Bradley for the Trojans and Brent Jackas are going to have trouble trying to keep the momentum and keeping their cool?
You know, I think it's actually going to be the opposite of that. Mike Bradley, son of legendary coach Jim Bradley, he's been here before, and he's going to make his team act like they've been here before too. And Brent Jackas, while he doesn't necessarily, that name doesn't pop out like the last name Bradley does, he's an experienced coach, and he's going to tell his players, look, it's the first game, it's Friday night, between an inner city rival, you got to get juiced up and ready to go, man.
I agree. And when we watched the last Onate game when they were playing Sandia, he did a very great job of managing the quarterback situation. Aaron Sanchez had been out the last game with a toe injury, and they had to switch back in their backup, but he certainly did a good job of mixing them both in for some playing time and coming through with the W.
He did, and it's great if you're an Onate fan. You want to see that if one quarterback doesn't work out, you can go to your backup, Jaden Dominguez, the sophomore, and he, although he's young, he can still look like an experienced starter out there in place of Aaron Sanchez.
Yeah, and we've had some experience with dual quarterbacks. I remember last week when we were commenting on the Centennial Hobbs game, Hobbs was kind of switching out both of their quarterbacks, so I'm not sure if that'll be a theme in this district.
Well, and you hear traditionally in college football and sometimes in the pros, if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one quarterback, basically meaning that a two-quarterback system is going to make you fail. But here in high school football down here, it's proved to be pretty successful, whereas one guy is really good through the air and the other guy is good on the ground in goal line situations.
Yeah, for sure, Cameron. I mean, the game of football changes every year, I mean, as we move into this more modern-day situation, and it looks like we're going to wrap it up, and we're going to be starting up the national anthem, and we'll come back to at kickoff.
Tiffany Spence, Angel Alberson, Veronica Fromstone, Aaron Butler, Zach Gibbs, Dawson Manicky, Brennan Ramsey, Kyle Lindley, John Metz, Blanca Barunda, Akron Holloway, Sam Roybal, Kane Gamboa, Isabella Bencomo, and Alex Hernandez. Section of the week is the Tubas. Students of the week are China Grijalva, Jesus Lozano, Jared Brown, and Ozzie Lujan. The Trojan Marching Band would like to continue to dedicate their 2016 marching season to Mr. Ross Ramsey, Mayfield's first director of bands. The band's 2016 marching contest show is entitled Green, featuring In Ain't Easy Being Green, Green Sleeves, and the music of Aaron Complin and Percy Granger. Soloists are Angel Alberson on the flute and Brennan Ramsey on the flugelhorn. Drum majors are Jacob Hammond and Adriana Mirabal. You may begin your performance. band is under the direction of Mr. Johnny Lang, assisted by Manny Hernandez and Michelle Lang. Percussion instructors are Derek Lee and Paul Guano. Color guard instructor is Shari Brewster. Superintendent of schools is Dr. Steven Sanchez. High school principal is Mr. Eric Frost. The Trojan band will compete tomorrow in the 3rd annual T-Bird Marching Contest at Coronado High School in El Paso. Their performance time is 2:45. We'd also like to take this opportunity to wish Onate and Centennial bands good luck tomorrow as well. We'd like to thank our staff, administrators, parents, and the community for their support, and we hope you enjoyed the performance. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Field of Dreams. Tonight, the contest features the Mayfield Trojans and the Onate Knights. Officials for tonight's game: referee is Rick Maxey, umpire Miguel Castaneda, linesman Sean Cooper, judge David Carl, and back judge David Weeby. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd ask that you please rise as the Mayfield Air Force Junior ROTC, commanded by Senior Airman Hernandez, and the Onate High School Naval Junior ROTC, Senior Chief Rodriguez, present the colors. Please remain standing, remove your hats, for the playing of our national anthem by the Onate Royal Knight Regiment under the direction of Mr. Sean Silva.
What's up, guys? Quick shout out to the Onate band for that fantastic playing of the national anthem. I'm pretty excited for this matchup, Cameron. I mean, Mayfield has a pretty high-powered offense, and Onate has a strong defense. And I mean, this atmosphere is fantastic. I love the football.
It is, and within the last 15 minutes when we left you guys to see that awesome performance by the Mayfield marching band, more people showed up, and there's definitely a lot more energy in the stadium, and I'm excited. Although Mayfield student section hasn't shown up yet, but hey, they're only about half an hour. They're at school. They're still hanging out. They'll be here.
Indeed. Just to give you guys a bit more of a background, both of these teams have 3-2 records. Mayfield having wins over Carlsbad last week and El Dorado, and taking losses to Volcano Vista and Rio Rancho. While Onate has gotten wins over Atrisco Heritage, Sandia, over Atrisco Heritage and Sandia, while they've taken losses to Cleveland and Rio Rancho.
And Onate last week beat the Gadsden Panthers by a score of 51-0, which was a great way for them to open up district play. I don't think they expected to rout the Panthers like that, but definitely a lot of momentum heading into this game for both teams coming off wins.
Yeah, for sure. And they've obviously struggled against, the top two teams in the state, Cleveland and Rio Rancho. I mean, they are just powerhouses. Sometimes it feels like they recruit out of West Texas or something.
And it's good that Coach Jacquez of Onate and Coach Bradley of Mayfield have realized, look, we lost early on in the season to the best team in the state. We're not going to let that get us down tonight, and we're still going to have a lot of momentum going into district play.
Exactly. It's all about mindset, Cameron. 90% mental and 10% physical. But they're both pretty cool characters, and I don't think that's going to get him down. It's not going to get down running back Isaac Vance, that's for sure.
No, definitely not. And there's a reason why Kent State, a Division I school in the MAC, reached out and offered him a scholarship to go to school for free to play football. Now, Isaac grew up in the Kent area, in the 330 area code near Akron, and he's very familiar with that area, and I'm sure he's very excited to go back home to Northeast Ohio after his senior season's over. But it's not over till it's over, and he's looking for another state championship ring.
I could believe it. And both the teams are just running onto the field. The Onate crowd is looking pretty juiced up. Not very many of them, but certainly more than Mayfield.
Now, and I know I said this a couple weeks ago when Onate ran onto the field. Matt Young, the senior New Mexico State commit, 6'3", 235. He plays both fullback and outside linebacker. When we see this Onate team run out, they're not by any means small football players, but Matt Young looks like a man among boys when he runs out with his team.
Yeah, for sure, Cameron. I tell you what, everybody's talking about this Mayfield offense, and they're certainly impressive. But let's not sleep on Onate again. I mean, they ran over Sandia in the first game that we were commentating on, and I mean, they give Aaron Sanchez quite a break with running backs like Matt Young just whooping him.
They are, and I think it's easy to kind of overlook the talent of this Onate offense just because their defense is so good, and it's better than their defense has been in quite some time. But look out for this triple option threat for Onate. They execute it to perfection, didn't have any mishaps or dumb mistakes. So I expect to see that again tonight from them.
Certainly, Cameron. We'll see if that Mayfield defense can put up a strong coverage against them. Now, it looks like the first quarter is just about to start. Teams are walking right onto the field. And I believe Mayfield is going to be kicking this off, and Onate will be returning. These are both walking off. It's Friday Night Lights down here. I'm excited.
Now, Max, looks like Onate is setting their returners up to about the 20-yard line, expecting a short, probably a squib kick from this Mayfield team to start this game off.
That would be interesting. We saw quite a bit of that when they were playing Sandia last time. We'll see if they've certainly adapted. Mayfield's getting ready to kick off. Onate has their farthest receiver. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be about the 20-yard line. First quarter's about to start up. Mayfield's all packed together. This is interesting. Bit of a different system there. Huh. The whistle's just been blown.
Oh, and he fakes the kick. Wow. A little bit of trickery to start off here.
Yeah, now they're spread out. I think they're just trying to get on Onate's nerves, Cameron. I mean, that momentum early in the quarter can certainly have a lasting effect.
I think so, and I love that call by Coach Bradley to kind of show a little trickery and take advantage of Onate's youth so far.
Now Mayfield just kicked off.
Max,
I think kick to the right, like you said. And it was dropped by the Onate receiver. And it looks like Mayfield's going to have it. They got it back at just about Onate's 45-yard line. That fantastic execution.
What great guts by Coach Bradley and his coaching staff, and what great execution by the kicker there. I think that was designed, Max. I don't think that was a bad kick. I think that was a designed onside kick, and they worked it to perfection there. So now they have the momentum heading into the beginning of this game.
It certainly wouldn't surprise me if it was, Cameron. I mean, they all gathered together, tried to get on Onate's nerves a little bit. And Onate's offense is going to come back out, and let's see if that Mayfield D can contain them. Now lining up at quarterback, we have number 12, Aaron Sanchez for Onate. Oh, Mayfield, my bad. Send the man in motion. He's going to hand it off to the running back. He's going to run up the left. And he's going to be sat down. Looks like a loss of a couple yards. And that Mayfield quarterback is going to be Torrey Laughlin. We handed it off to the running back to start things off. And it's going to be 2nd and 12.
And they tried with the jet sweep to Austin Say to try and avoid this strong and powerful Onate front seven early on, but those outside linebackers anchored by Forrest McKee and Matt Young closed quickly and stopped the play before it could get started, basically.
Torrey Laughlin's going to line back up in the shotgun. He has 3 receivers off to his right, some trips. He's going to send his fullback farther up near the line. His launch back. He's looking to his left, and he's going to scramble to the left. He's going up. There's a flag out, and he's going to run out of bounds for looks like maybe a gain of a couple yards.
And that was nearly a coverage sack there. Great job by the Onate defensive backs. They're covering those Mayfield wide receivers who were outside on both sides of the ball. At the end there, just before the ball was snapped, Onate brought press coverage, and they had their guys lined up right at the line of scrimmage, which allowed them to stop Mayfield wide receivers before they were able to get off the ball.
Mayfield team is in the huddle talking a bit, trying to set up this next. Looks like it's still going to be second down. Did that flag have an impact?
Well, Max, I believe, if I heard correctly, that was a holding on Onate, which should give Mayfield an automatic first down.
So they're going to get another chance at this. We'll see if that Trojan O-line can protect Torrey Laughlin a little bit
It's
better.
actually going to be second and about 2 yards from 38.
So they're getting moved up. It's going to be second and 2. Torrey Laughlin line back up again in the shotgun. Sends a man in motion to the left. And he's going to fake it to him. That's a quarterback keeper, and he's going to run it out, and it looks like Torrey Laughlin's going to have the first down at just about the Onate 35-yard line.
A great fake there on that jet sweep and a great read by Laughlin. That's a more modern offensive play that you'll see him run. Gus Malzahn at Auburn loved to run that with Nick Marshall on that team that almost won the national championship in 2014 but lost to Florida State. It's the same concept there. Read the defense at that last second and make the call on whether to keep the ball or hand it off to the man on the jet sweep.
Certainly, the Trojans are doing their best to stay current and with the times. Laughlin's going to line back up in the shotgun. He's running back next to him, and he's going to hand it off. And number 3's running up the left. Looks like he's going to have a gain of about 2 or 3 yards. Not sure if that was 3 or 8. Let me check. That was number 8 running back for the Trojans, Nassim Al-Abayad. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Number 6.
It'd be nice if we got a pronunciation guide. I think that'd take a while to create, though.
I think so. And we're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. Mayfield's going to have it second and 7 after that run by Al-Bayad. Now Torrey Laughlin's lined back up in the shotgun. He's going to take it, dropping back, looking to his right, and sends it far out right. And it is going to be overthrown. Pass initially intended for receiver number 18, Jacob Moreno.
And you know what, Max? I think the Mayfield faithful here in attendance tonight wanted a holding on the Onate defensive back. However, the ref did a good job of acknowledging that pass was just uncatchable and therefore didn't throw a flag. Good no call there by this officiating crew, I'm sorry.
Yeah, shout out to the officials for doing a great job making sure everything is called correctly. Now Mayfield's going to have it back 3rd and 7 after that incomplete. Laughlin is going to line back up in the shotgun. Not sure if they're going to utilize Isaac Vance later on. I'm sure they will, but not recently. Quarterback drops back. Laughlin's looking to his right. He sends pass out, overthrown, pass intended for receiver number 14, Austin Shea? I'm going to say Shea. It was thrown right up the middle, but overthrown again. Yeah, I'm not sure if Torrey Laughlin's arm is feeling that great tonight.
You know, Max, and he just missed him. That was a pretty simple throw, and he'll get back into rhythm. But if he had put that pass on the money, that was great coverage there by number 13 for Onate, Mr. Vieira. He did a great job, and if that ball was accurate, that it could have easily been picked off.
No doubt. And Torrey Laughlin is lining back up, and it looks like they're going to take it. Laughlin's looking to his right, and he's scrambling to his right. Looks like that D-line for Onate sacked him. And Onate is going to have it back after that botched punt at the beginning. And they're certainly going to redeem themselves from kickoff. Shout out to that Onate defense. And the offense is going to take it back at their own 35-yard line.
And I think the man in the middle there for that Onate defense who made the play in the front 7 was none other than number 35, the 5'7" senior linebacker, James Quigg. Way to step up in the first game between inner-city foes here in Las Cruces.
Fantastic job. And like we were talking about, Cameron, that Onate defense stopped them square in their tracks and certainly redeemed themselves off that botched kickoff.
They did, and it was good for Onate to stop them there on 4th down and gain the momentum back after they lost it on that onside kick to begin the game.
For sure. Now the Onate quarterback, Aaron Sanchez, is going to line back up under center. Looks like it's going to be a run play right here. Mayfield's blitzing. He's going to give it off to his running back to the right, and the running back is going to be sat down for a gain of looks like about 5 yards.
I think that was Sal Yanez there on the carry, and I think he gained about 5-6 yards there on 1st down, which if you're an Onate Knight fan, that's good. You want that good production there on first down to set up second and manageable.
Exactly. Already on their first offensive play, and that Onate run game is already killing it. Now they're huddling real quick. We have about 9:13 left to go in the first quarter. It's going to be 2nd and 4 Knights. Now Sanchez is going to line back up again under center. Got 2 receivers off to both sides. Fullback behind him. And it looks like Sanchez is going to keep it, and he's running it back. He's at the 40, and he's going to be down at just about that Mayfield 35-yard line, my bad. And that'll move the chains for the Knights.
You know, that play even faked me out there for a little bit because last year we didn't see Sanchez carrying the ball very often. If Onate decided to carry the ball with the quarterback, they put in the sophomore Jaden Dominguez. But great fake there and great little trickeration also by Coach Jacquez and his staff here early on in this game. Should be an interesting one.
Looks like Aaron Sanchez isn't letting all the work go to his running backs, but he's taking a bit of a dual threat game himself. And Onyate's going to have it back 1st and 10 at the Mayfield 37-yard line. 8:32 left to go in the quarter. Sanchez lined up again under center. Looks like another run play to me. Sends a man in motion. He's going to pitch it back off to the running back. I believe that was Sal Yanez again for a gain of maybe 2.
Max, I think Sal just tripped over his own lineman there, but even if he hadn't tripped, he would have gotten stood up there in the backfield. Great recognition of the play there by the Mayfield front 7.
For sure. Now Onyate's going to have it back. Looks like still going to be, I don't think they got many yards on the play. Looks like it's still going to be 2nd and 10. 8 minutes left to go in the quarter. Onyate's lining back up. They have a receiver out to the far sides of both fields. Oh, now it looks like they're going to send the second receiver to the left side. Sanchez lined back up again under center. And he's going to pitch it back out to his running back who's going to run it. And he's going to have a gain. Looks like that might be a first down for Onate.
Max, I think he's going to be just short. I think he gained about 8 yards there, which is going to leave 3rd and manageable. Nothing wrong there to set up 3rd and manageable there for your offense.
Yeah, for sure, especially without a strong Onate run game. Wasn't exactly sure who the running back was there. Checking on that. They'll have it. Onate will have it 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2 from the 29-yard line with 7:15 left in this first quarter.
Indeed. Sanchez lined back up under center. Looks like it's going to be another run play for the Knights. Sends a man in motion. He's going to hand it back off. The running back's going to move the chains for Onate.
You know, I like to see this, and I mentioned this the last time that we played, or that we watched Onate play Sandia. I like to see kind of the traditional offense, the triple option that's run at the service academies and at Georgia Tech be used by a high school team. It's kind of weird to see it go up against a modern offense like Mayfield, but it's good to see that that era of college football is still alive today in the 21st century.
No doubt, Cameron. They did a great job of taking a cue from more upper-level teams. Now Sanchez is lined back again under center, and he's going to pitch it back off to number 23. That was the running back for Mayfield, Ezekiel Gama.
Ezekiel Gama there from Onate. We didn't see a whole lot of him against. I'm sorry, that was Josiah Fielder. We read our sheet wrong there, but
apologies.
We didn't see a whole lot of him against Sandia the other night. But one of the observations I did make was Onate has a lot of ball carriers who they're comfortable with handing the ball off to.
For sure. And we got about 6 minutes left to go. Onyate's going to have it back 2nd and 2 from just about the Mayfield 15-yard line. That Trojan defense is getting pretty aggravated. Now Sanchez looks like, I wasn't sure if he kept it or handed it off, but either way, that's going to move the chains for the Knights, and it's going to be 1st and goal.
Number 35, Forrest McKee.
Max, that was the first time we've heard Forrest McKee's name be called all night, and he did a great job there of powering through that strong front 7 and getting a first down, setting up 1st and goal there.
Onate does a great job. Head coach Brent Jacques does a fantastic job of mixing up different linebackers and running back positions, and it certainly performs. Now Onyate's lining back up. So they have one receiver off to the left, but other than that, it's the I formation. Sanchez lined up under center, and he's going to pitch it back out. Running back, I believe that was Sal Yanez, is going to have about a gain of 2 or 3 yards.
It was great to see there that Sal Yanez, while that play didn't look like it was going to promise a touchdown, he kept fighting and was able to gain 5 yards, whereas maybe your average quarterback would have said, hey, let him tackle me and let's go for 2nd down.
For sure now, Onyate's going to have it back with about 5 yards to go until the end zone. We have 5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. It's been going by pretty fast. 2nd and 4. Onyate's heading back out, sending a receiver far left. Aaron Sanchez is going to be lined back out under center. He's got a fullback and a halfback out. Sanchez is going to hand it off. No, he's going to pitch it out to his left. That was to Sal Yanez, and Yanez is going to run it in for the touchdown. There's some flags out on the play. Not exactly sure how that's going to impact.
Max, I believe that they're going to get a hold on the Onate left tackle. I wasn't able to see his number, but I think he was grabbing the outside part of the Mayfield defender's jersey there. Could bring back the touchdown, but let's see the call from the head official.
It's really unfortunate, Cameron. If that is so, I mean, careless mistakes just took 6 points off your board.
Yeah, and sure enough, that was a great run, great execution of the play there by Sal Yanez and Aaron Sanchez. But unfortunately, the penalty is going to negate the touchdown.
Onyate's going to have it back. 4:38 left to go in the quarter. And they're just getting in the huddle, trying to make sure that they can prevent that from happening again. I'm sure they're giving Sal Yanez some props for that great run. It's got to be a confidence booster.
Definitely, and if I'm Onate, it's 2nd down here. It's not 3rd or 4th down. Try running it again. It's worked so far here early on, so stick to what got you there, you know?
Exactly. Sanchez lined up under center, sends a man in motion. He's going to pitch it back out. It's number 23, the running back, who's going to, looks like about no gain, Cameron. Again, that was pitched back out to number 23.
Josiah Felder there with the pitch. And you know what? That play could have had success and maybe even a touchdown, but number 21, Sal Yanez, who usually is their main ball carrier, just totally whiffed on the block, and he missed it, and that's why he was tackled in the backfield.
The clock counting down. Almost about 4 minutes left to go. Onate, looks like they lost a yard on that play, so they're going to have it back 3rd and 11.
I believe so. And I think Onate is now going to take a timeout and talk it over. We could see the first pass of the game right now for Onate. The Knights don't pass the ball very often. But if I'm Coach Jacquez, you're 12 yards out from a score. The run game didn't work on the previous play. You've got to get there through the air.
Exactly. It might be time to switch things up, see what Aaron Sanchez can do. He's had quite a break for these past few games, considering that the ground game has killed it for Onate. Let's see if he can execute in the red zone.
And if Onate is able to score a touchdown here, it'd be a great boost of confidence for them, because it got a little dicey there on the opening kickoff when Mayfield recovered their own onside kick. They were able to shut them down on defense. Now it's time for the offense to hold up their end of the bargain and create momentum here early on in this game.
For sure. I mean, you got to pay back. You got to pay back your defense, man. I mean, they're 2 main components to football, and that night front 7 did a fantastic job of getting the ball back, and now Onate has to produce and put 6 on the board. We got about 4 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Onate's going to have it back 3rd and 11. And I agree with you, Cameron. I think we could see a pass into the end zone this time.
I think so. And we mentioned in the pregame how Aaron Sanchez, while he doesn't get to throw the ball very often, when he does on those rare occasions, he does look pretty good. So let's see if he can step up here on 3rd and 12. 3rd and goal from the 12-yard line.
Well, Sanchez is going to be lined back up under center again. He has 2 receivers to his left, so this could go either way. It looks like Sanchez is going to drop back, looking to his right, sends it out to his receiver, but it is going to be short by just about 5 yards.
So I'm interested to see what the call will be here, because now they'll have 4th and goal from about, I'd say the 6-yard line. You could throw it. You could run a similar play like you did there on 3rd down and try and punch it into the end zone. And I think they're going to go with the conservative option and just kick a field goal here early on.
Wouldn't surprise me. And that pass was thrown out to Forrest McKee, who got about 5 yards on the gain. Looks like they're going to take a timeout here.
So all of a sudden here, due to a lack of execution there near the goal line for Onate, they have to waste 2 of their first half timeouts with only about 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first quarter. That could prove costly if they want to get some momentum going into halftime, and they need a timeout in order to do so.
Yeah, well, I mean, when the quarter goes by this fast, lots of action and a couple big turnovers, I mean, it's easy to get caught up and forget that calm, conservative coaching style.
It is, and right here, if you don't have confidence that your kicker can make this easy chip shot, why not just try and punch it in? Because even if you aren't successful here on 4th and goal, Mayfield will still have very, very bad field position on their second possession of the game.
I agree. Yeah, he's going to have it back 4th and 7, like we said, and they're just going to kick the field goal. It's looking like. Kicker is lined up, and that is number 6, Rico.
Jared Rico here to attempt the kick. Left-footed kicker here. He looks kind of weird.
Rico's lined up. It's going to be snapped, and it looks like it was botched by that Mayfield defense, and they're going to have it back at their own 10-yard line. Great job by those Mayfield special teams.
Now, if you're a Mayfield coaching staff, you are counting your blessings there because Onate was knocking on your own goal line. But great job there by the Mayfield defense of standing tall. You don't see a whole lot of goal line stands here nowadays, but it was good to see that they were able to stand tall there to prevent Onate from scoring their first points of the game.
Completely. Now, I think as much as we can give that to the Mayfield defense, I think that Rico might have just sent the kick out a bit short. Looks kind of low to me. Now Mayfield's going to have it back 1st and 10 from just about their own 10-yard line with about 3:30 left to go in the quarter. It looks like Torrey Laughlin's going to pitch it out to his running back. Gets about short gain on the carry.
There's the first time that we've seen their running back, Isaac Vance, carry the ball, and I'm interested to see if he will get more touches throughout the game. They held him out the first 3 games of the season with the exception of one play, although he did return last week in Carlsbad and had 19 carries for 132 yards and 3 touchdowns. A great performance to open up his season.
Very, very impressive. Now it looks like Torrey Laughlin's going to line back up in the shotgun. He has 3 receivers. He's going to take the snap, and he's going to hand it off again. It looks like, I believe that was Vance, got a short gain of maybe 1 yard at the most, though unlikely. Now we have about 2:40 left to go in the quarter. I'd like to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Corner Deli, for the fantastic sandwiches they provide for us every time we call these games. Once again, my name is Max Sanchez, joined by my co-anchor Cameron Castillo, and we are with the LCPS TV crew here at the Field of Dreams. Clock is winding down, less than 2:20 left to go in the quarter. Onate is lined back out. Looks like they're expecting a passing play on this 3rd down. But it looks like Laughlin is going to hand it off, and that is kept down. Now it is going to be about 4th and 6 for Mayfield. What do you think they'll do, Cameron?
4th and 6, you've got bad field position. You have to punt it away. Just take your loss there and hope that your defense can stand tall again in the red zone and prevent them from scoring points. I'm very surprised that they decided to hand it off once again to Vance after the first 2 runs of this possession were very unsuccessful.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that Onate secondary certainly expected a pass play, and I can't blame them. But, I mean, Mayfield's offense is very, very successful, and it wouldn't surprise me if they had gotten the first if they had just passed it.
That's right, and they have a talented Division I level wide receiver in Gavin Swenson there going up against Onate defensive backs who got burned by the Sandia Matador passing game a couple weeks ago. So I don't know why, if I'm Michael Bradley, I wouldn't throw it there on 3rd down. And even 2nd down after the 1st down carry didn't net many yards for you.
Yeah, it didn't make much sense to me, Cameron. Now we got about 1:30 left to go in the quarter. It looks like Mayfield's going to be punting it on 4th and 8 deep into their own territory. Onate is certainly ready. They got their kick returner back at about their own 40-yard line. Let's see here, a little chatter. And if I'm Onate, I mean, with their strong run game, I am pumped to put it in that Mayfield end zone, especially after they were denied this last time with the touchdown and that field goal.
It looks as if Gavin Swenson, the New Mexico State commit, is going to punt the ball away.
Swenson punts it right down the middle. He's going to tap down and a return. Returner's at the just going to be down on the returner at just about the 50-yard line. Now that Mayfield defense is coming back onto the field. We're so successful at keeping Onate out of the end zone. We got about 1:22 left to go in the quarter.
And, you know, if you're the Mayfield offense, you want to help your defensive teammates out. They just had to be on a long possession where they held Onate from scoring their first points of the game. They didn't get to rest very long, and because of the 3 and out, they have to go back out on the field pretty quickly.
For sure. I mean, you got to scratch each other's back, man. It's all about teamwork. Onate, Mayfield's going to have it back now. Oh, Onate, my bad. Aaron Sanchez lined back up under center. Looks like it's going to be a run play again. Salyanes in motion. And he's going to hand it back off to running back number 23 for Onate, which is going to be Josiah Fielder. And Fielder's going to move the chains. And the ball's going to be down just into the Mayfield 30-yard line.
Max, there was a flag on the play right as soon as the ball was snapped. That head official threw a flag. I think they're going to get him for a false start here.
We got 1:16 left to go in the quarter. Yeah, I mean, I've seen quite a few careless mistakes on both the teams' offenses that have kept them from getting in the end zone.
And that was a false start there on the running back number 21, Salyanes. That's two mistakes that we've seen early on. He badly missed a block earlier on in the first drive, and now with his penalty negating the great run on first down.
Yeah. Although he has been very impressive in the run game, like always. Now Onyate's going to have it back, 1st and 15 after that penalty. Sanchez is going to line back up under center. Looks like it's going to be another run play for the Knights. They're sat back down. Sends Salyanes in motion. And Onate sends the running back out, and looks like they're going to have a gain of about 6 yards on the play. But not enough to move the chains. Onate is going to have it back. It will be 3rd, and I'm thinking about 4. 2nd and 5, my apologies.
Yeah, Max, that false start penalty made it 1st and 15, so they had kind of a free play there on that run play that was negated. Great run play negated by Salyanes' mistake.
Certainly.
Hopefully he'll bounce back into the game if you're an Onate fan.
We'll see. Now, both these student sections are getting pretty excited. They were small to begin with, but Onate's caught some traction. Mayfield not so much. Sanchez is going to hand it off to his running back, and it looks like that's going to move the chains for the Knights.
You know what?
Great job by
I think
Yanez.
Aaron Sanchez
Did he keep
went
it?
ahead and kept the ball there. Once again, he's exhibiting his dual threat capabilities, which we didn't see against Sandia. But it's good to see if you're an Onate fan that not only can Aaron Sanchez manage this offense through the air, but he can also take off and run with it if needed.
He mostly just let Yanez do all the work. But tonight, not so much. Now, looks like there's going to be a quick timeout here, and that's going to be the end of the quarter. And we're going to switch sides of the field. Onate's going to have it back. And pretty interesting, Cameron. Quite a bit of momentum shifts here in the Field of Dreams.
I think so, Max, but the defense stood tall there in the first quarter, 0-0 heading into the second. And I was surprised to see that, especially with the talent of this Mayfield offense and the Onate offense. I was surprised to see that no points were scored there in the first quarter.
I was, and I think although that might have been contributed to some low execution, I think also just careless mistakes. I mean, there were some holding penalties that kept them right out of the end zone when they were in the red zone.
That's exactly right, Max. If you're Onate, they had a missed block, a holding penalty, and then a false start here. That's kind of prohibiting them from moving the ball like they want to. And Mayfield hasn't been able to get anything going with Isaac Vance or any other running back that they've tried. Maybe they'll look to the passing game here in the second quarter to get things going on offense.
Indeed. It certainly wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Isaac Vance, he's been their weapon in the past, but I don't know. I mean, their quarterback, Torrey Laughlin, he's had a couple passes, but so far it's been pretty impressive. And we got just about the start of the second quarter. It'll be 1st and 10 Onate at the Mayfield 40-yard line. Sanchez is going to line back up again under center. He's going to take it and pitch it back out to Yanez. He's going to have a gain of about 4 yards on the carry. Oh, look, he's still going. Looks like there was a bit of... All right.
And that's a motif that we've seen from Yanez in the previous game and here tonight. That kid plays till the whistle blows, and that's something that you want to see out of every single one of your players if you're a head football coach. Play until the whistle blows, because you never know if that ref recognized if you're down or not. So keep going until you're told to stop.
For sure, Cameron. I mean, you just got to keep pushing, and that's how you put 6 on the board. We're about 30 seconds into the second quarter. Sanchez is going to line back up under center. Looks like it's going to be a run play, and Mayfield's certainly expecting it. Sanchez hands it off to the running back, who is going to take it up. That'll move the chains for Onate, and he'll be down just about the Mayfield 15-yard line. Great
run there by Matt Young. That's the first time that we've called his name tonight, on offense at least. And it was a big mistake there by the Mayfield defense to try and arm tackle him, because I don't know about you, but it's not a great strategy to try and arm tackle a 6'3", 235-pound fullback. You gotta wrap him up and take him down.
Yeah, I've never tried it, Cameron, but doesn't seem like a great technique there. And we got Sanchez lined back up under center again. Wouldn't surprise me if this is a run play. And he is going to hand it back. No, he's going to keep it and run it up the left side. And Sanchez is going to be in the end zone. Touchdown Knights. Great job by Aaron Sanchez. I mean, he fooled that entire Mayfield defense.
A great fake there by Onate. And I think on film, this Mayfield coaching staff planned and prepared for the talent of running back Sal Yanez and Jake Elmore and Matt Young. However, they didn't take into account the ability of Aaron Sanchez to scramble, and we've seen that be very successful here for the Knights tonight.
He's certainly pulling another one out of his toolbox and throwing in some dual threat capability. Onate is going to go for the extra point here. Let's see if that Mayfield defense can block him like last time. Nope, it is going to be good. And that'll be 7-0 Knights with 10:48 left to go in the second quarter. That was a fantastic job by Onate. I mean, Aaron Sanchez took a huge leadership role and just punched it right into the end zone at the very
end. A great job there, and like I said before, that's something that I was surprised to see. You know, we saw him be the field general against Sandia, and when needed, he was a great thrower, but he's also, as we've seen tonight, pretty good on the ground too, and he can get things done for his Onate Knight football team.
Completely. Got 10:48 left to go in the second quarter. Onate is going to run back on the field. They're going to kick it back to the Trojans. Let's see if Torrey Laughlin and Isaac Vance can get something going for Mayfield. Their student section seems to not think so very much. They're looking pretty quiet, but I would be too if I had just been short against. So Mayfield's running back on. They're going to send their farthest returner just about their own 10-yard line. Onyate's ready to get this thing started. And then Onate defense, I mean, they sat Mayfield down before, and I'm sure they're pumped to do so again.
I think returning out there for the Mayfield Trojans at about the 3-yard line is going to be number 14, the wide receiver Austin Say, and number 11, the wide receiver Chris Mario.
Onate kicks off straight down the middle. He's going to grab by the returner, and he's going to run it back out to the Mayfield 20. He's at the Mayfield 30. He's running up the right. He's still going. It looks like he's going to be tackled at just about that Mayfield 33-yard line.
That's a good spark, the first spark that we've seen here by Mayfield, at least offensively. So let's see if they look to the passing game to try and get things going here in the second quarter, because in the first quarter, they stuck to the ground game with Isaac Vance carrying the ball. It was very, very unsuccessful. Let's see if they mix things up here.
Mm-hmm. There was quite a bit of potential, actually, I think, on that last kick return. I thought he might run it up the right for at least 10 more yards, but I'm sure Mayfield's going to come into it with some momentum. Got two receivers out to his right and receiver to his left. Laughlin's going to line up in the shotgun, sends a man in motion, and he is going to keep it and run it right up the middle for a gain of about 2 yards. Nice fake off to number six Isaac Vance for the Trojans.
Now, Max, I think that play was designed as a quarterback keep, but if it was a quarterback read, a quarterback zone read there, he should have handed the ball off to Isaac Vance, because he had a significant amount of space in front of him and probably would have gained the first down had he gotten the ball there out of the slot backfield.
I agree. The left side of the field was completely clear, and I'm sure the Onate defense was tricked too. I mean, they probably thought that Vance was going to get the ball. Now Laughlin is going to be lined up back in the shotgun. He's going to take it and hand it off this time to the running back. He's going to get a gain. Looks about maybe 1 or 2 yards.
Once again, Max, this is kind of becoming a motif here in this game for the Mayfield offense. They run the ball for no success on first down. Same thing on second down. They're left with third and long, which they haven't been able to manage through the air. So let's see if Torrey Laughlin can put the throw on the money, maybe to his favorite target, number 16, Gavin Swenson.
And we got just clock ticking down. Less than 9:40 left to go in the second quarter. Mayfield's going to have it back, 3rd and 8. Let's see if Laughlin can make this key pass here, if he does decide to pass, which I'm sure he will. Got 3 receivers outside. Laughlin's dropping back, and there's a flag out. What do you think that might be, Cameron?
Max, I think the right guard there for Mayfield, number 64, I can't find his name. Number 64 started a little early. He's still a little excited. The game hasn't been going on for very long. A little bit of emotions here early on to play your inner city rival, which is going to cost the Mayfield Trojans because now they're going to be left with about 3rd and 13 from their own 35-yard line.
Yeah, that might have been Owen Dozier. And Mayfield's going to have it back. This is even more crucial. I mean, when you're sent farther back, let's see if that Onate secondary can step it up and block this Mayfield pass game. And Laughlin is going to be lined back up in the shotgun. 3 receivers out to both sides like last time. The ball is going to be snapped, and he's going to keep it. Play action pass over to his left, and that is wobbled a bit, but caught for a little gain. And that was Mayfield receiver number
81, Matthew Armendariz there, wasn't able to make the catch there. And Max, even if he did make the catch, Onate still would have tackled him before he made the line to gain. And you can't expect to earn a first down if you want to throw those little check down passes there on 3rd and 13. So they really do need to look downfield more if they want to find success through the air.
I agree, Cam. You have to have confidence and execute, especially against this Onate secondary and their defense overall, which has killed it in these past few games. Now Mayfield is going to punt the ball, and that Onate running back is set back at just about their 20-yard line, but is going to be down at just about the 50-yard line. Now, one of the running backs picked it back up and ran it back to the Mayfield 40-yard line. And that's where they'll start back up. Great field position for the Knights.
And that was kind of just luck. Not a great punt there by the Mayfield punter, and it kind of hung around in the air and bounced off the ankle of a Mayfield Trojan. And after that, as you saw, it bounced back. Great job there by the Onate player of playing until the whistle blew. The ball was not blown dead there, and he was able to advance the ball about 8 or 9 more yards there.
For sure, Cameron, great reflexes, and he certainly took advantage of that screwed up punt. Now we have 8:12 left to go in the second quarter. We'll start back up here. Knights still up by 7 points. And Yate is going to have it. Aaron Sanchez lined back up under center. So it's going to be a run play here. And Mayfield's expecting it. They're blitzing pretty hard towards the right side of the field. Ooh, and that Onate running back is stuck cold in his tracks. And Mayfield looks like they fumbled it. Mayfield's going to have it back at just about their own 45-yard line. Great job by that Mayfield front seven.
And Max, you know what that was a product of? And it was a product of what you said before the ball was snapped. Mayfield had about 8 guys in the box preparing for a run, and they were able to break up the play before it was even started. The center and the quarterback weren't able to make that exchange. Mayfield gets the ball back on their own 44-yard line.
Definitely not a very hard read for the Trojans. I think the handoff from Sanchez to the running back was a bit slow too, and that could have contributed. Now Mayfield's going to have it back. 1st and 10, 8:07 left to go in the second quarter from just about their 44-yard line. Now Laughlin is going to drop back, looking to his left, and he's going to launch out far left, and it is going to be broken up. Pass initially intended for Mayfield number 6, Isaac Vance, I believe. Ooh, fantastic job by that Onate secondary. Vance was all set up and ready to catch it. It just didn't pan out.
Max, I'm trying to see what who the defensive back was there for the Knights. These binoculars are kind of foggy. I need to clean them. But what a play. That was the play of the game so far right there. The Mayfield wide receiver had the ball in his hands, but the defensive back didn't give up on the play, and he prevented a touchdown by staying strong and breaking up the pass.
When you have those one-on-one matchups, Cameron, it all comes down to athleticism and training. Seasons are made in the offseason. That defensive back did a fantastic job. Laughlin's going to take it back. Shotgun position. He's looking out to his left. He's scrambling. He's scrambling back to his left again. He's going to send it out. And it is going to be caught by the Mayfield receiver. That's going to move the change, and the Trojans are going to have it at just about the Onate 20-yard line. Great execution.
What a very impressive play. That was almost kind of Johnny Manziel-like. We all remember that play against Alabama the year he won the Heisman Trophy. That secured the win for Alabama later on in the game. Great play there by Gavin Swenson of not giving up on the play after his initial route was covered. He took off and kind of improvised there and was able to bail his quarterback out of a rough situation there in the backfield.
I agree. When you have a cool QB who's able to have that dual threat power and scramble out, just send one out, that's going to move the chains. Mayfield's going to have it back. Laughlin lined up in the shotgun again. He's going to stand a man in motion to his right. And Laughlin's going to keep it. No, he looks like he pitched it back out to his running back.
Once again, Isaac Vance, I'm very surprised. This is only his second game back, so he's pretty fresh and he's healthy, and he is not able to get anything going against this Onate front seven. And I imagine that he would not find success running it between the tackles, but even when they give him the ball outside of the tackles, they're still bottling him up in the backfield for no gain.
Not at all. I mean, Cameron, I'm sure he was pretty excited and angry to be playing against Carlsbad last week, but I don't know, maybe that momentum has cooled down a bit. Maybe this Onate defense is just fantastic, or maybe a combination of both. And Laughlin's going to be lined back up in the shotgun. And he is going to keep it looking to his far left, and he's going to send it out to the far left corner of the field. And he's going to be recepted, and that's going to be a Mayfield touchdown right there. That was receiver number 14, Austin Shea, for the Trojans.
Great job there by Austin Say, and right there, Torrey Laughlin just kind of knew. He knows and has a lot of confidence in his wide receivers, Gavin Swinson and Austin Say, and he just really had to throw it up there and let his receiver do the rest.
Now the Trojans are going to take it back out here for the extra point, see if they can tie things up. And that'll make it 7-7 with 7:05 left to go in the second quarter. Trojan kicker is lining back up. And he is going to send it through the uprights, and that will tie the game up. Wow, really fantastic momentum shift by the Trojans. I mean, things were looking kind of shaky for their offense when the drive first started, but they certainly pulled it back.
Great job, and as I alluded to earlier, they recognized that in the first quarter they weren't able to find success on the ground. That's why they turned through the air, and sure enough, Torrey Laughlin was able to connect with Gavin Swinson early on in the drive, and then Austin Say for the touchdown.
They're both very clutch players. We're going to tie this game up. Onate is going to get the ball back and see if they can make things happen. Aaron Sanchez, Matt Young, and Jacob Elmore, I'm sure, are fired up.
Great defense there in the first quarter, and so far here with 5 minutes into the second quarter, the defense has been good, but it's been the storyline has been the offense. Both offenses have scored touchdowns within the past 5 minutes here in this game.
Looks like things are heating up down here at the Field of Dreams in the 5-7-5. Now Mayfield's just about to kick off. And the farthest Onate kick returner is set up at just about their own 15-yard line. Now number 7 for Mayfield. Looks like Caleb Conaway is going to be kicking this ball, or at least he was setting it up. Now Mayfield's, they're pulling the same thing they pulled on the initial kickoff, Cameron. They're all gathered together. I'm not exactly sure if this is a trick play, or maybe they're just trying to get on the nerves.
Well, we might again see, now that they have the momentum, we might see another onside kick here. Let's find out.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Caleb Conaway is lined up. He is running, and he's going to send the ball out right upwards. And I'm not even exactly sure, Cameron. I think that was intended to be an onside kick, but Onate's going to have it back at just about the 50-yard line.
That was intended to be an onside kick. So once again there we saw that odd formation when they lined up when the whistle blew, and then they fanned out but still kicked the onside. And what happened there was number 7, Caleb Conaway, he just got under the ball too much. There was almost like a flop shot, one of those flop shots that you hit in golf. Got under it too much, only traveled about 7 yards in the air, and Onate made a great play on the ball, great reflexes, and they were able to recover for great field position.
Sure, Karen. We know quite a bit about flop shots playing with me. Now we got 7:04 left to go in the second quarter. Things are tied up. Onate's going to have the ball back at just the Mayfield 49-yard line. Now Aaron Sanchez is going to line back up under center. And kind of deja vu here. Looks like they're going to pitch it back out to the running back, who's going to push it forward. And he's going to be stopped down, but looks like a gain of about 4 yards on the carry.
Once again, Max, you see Mayfield. They sent 8 of their 11 guys there in the tackle box to try and bottle up that Onate run game. So obviously the coaches did a great job of preparing their defense for this potent Onate rushing attack.
Although Onate, I mean, the Knights aren't doing a whole heck of a lot to try and disguise what they're about to do. I mean, the Trojans certainly expect the run play, and Onate gives it to them. Now Aaron Sanchez is going to send 2 receivers out to his left. Mayfield lined back up, defensive backs to counter those receivers. Sanchez lined up under center. fullback and a halfback. He's going to pitch it back out to the halfback, and that was going to be number 23 for Mayfield's. For Onate, my apologies, Josiah Fielder. And Fielder's going to get about 1 yard on the carry. That'll be 3rd and 6 for Onate now, with about 6 minutes left to go in the second quarter.
So right there, you saw Onate send their talented running back Sal Yanez out to line up as wide receiver. However, that didn't phase the Mayfield defense. They still kept their guys, 8 of them in the box, and they were able to stop the play there for little to no gain.
No. Sanchez lined back up under center, sends a man in motion. He's going to keep it, pitches it back out to his running back, who's going to take it up the left. And he's still going. Sal Yanez looks like he's going to move the chains for the Knights. Great play.
Great job there by Yanez to not give up in the play. And I know I said this earlier, the average running back would more than likely say, hey, you know what? There's no way I can get to the line to gain. Just give it up and we'll go again on the next down. But he didn't give up. He showed some nifty moves and agility there and was able to get the first down on 3rd and long.
Yeah, for sure. Cameron trying his best to break those Trojan ankles. Now we got 5:33 left to go in the second quarter. Aaron Sanchez is going to take it under center. And he's going to hand it back. No, he's going to hand it off to his running back, who's going to get, doesn't look like a gain on the play.
You know, Max, I'm kind of surprised to see we saw a whole lot out of the senior running back / fullback Jake Elmore in the Sandia game, and he did a great job compiling over 100 yards rushing. But we haven't seen him at all tonight carry the ball, although Sal Yanez has done a great job of taking his place.
For sure. Now we have about 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Onyate's going to have it back 2nd and 9. Looks like they've got about a yard on the last play. Looks like Sanchez is going to line up again under center. Bit of chatter on both sides of the field. Now Sanchez is going to take it under center. Sends a man in motion. And Sanchez looks like, wasn't sure if he kept it or handed off to the running back, but that's going to be a gain of about 7 yards.
I think Aaron Sanchez went ahead and handed it off to the running back there. And if he would have kept it, he wouldn't have gained very many yards. So good decision there by Sanchez. I can't talk today, Max, to hand the ball off to the running back.
Certainly, Cameron. Now we got 3rd and 4 for Onate with about 4:20 left to go in the second quarter. Aaron Sanchez is going to take it back under center. Looks like a pretty obvious run play here again. Let's see if they decide to switch things up. Sanchez pitches it back to the running back, number 23, who's going to wrestle it down, but looks like he's going to be stopped short of moving the chains. I believe that was Onate, number 23, Josiah Fielder, on the carry.
4th and 1 here. Your running game and your offensive line has been able to dominate the line of scrimmage here so far in this game. 4th and short, I don't see any problem with kind of rolling the dice here and going for it because the potential to gain the first down is great because of the ability of your running game.
Plus, you got to get your momentum back, Cameron. I mean, after that fantastic connection on Mayfield's last dive from Torrey Loughlin that helped them get that touchdown, I mean, Onyate's got to put 6 on the board themselves. Now Sanchez, talking to his guys, calling audible. He's back under center. Sends a man in motion. He's going to hand it back off again to the running back, who's going to move the chains for Onate.
They handed it off to the 6'3", 235-pound fullback / outside linebacker Matt Young. And if I were Brent Jacquez, that would be the exact call that I would make if I had the ability to call the plays, because he's just such a bruising runner and a dominant force. And quite frankly, I think the front 7 of defenses are a little bit intimidated to tackle him because they can't use arm tackles like they do against the other ball carriers. They have to wrap him up and force him down to the ground. Indeed,
he's not committed to the Aggies for no reason. Clock winding down, less than 3 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Sanchez is going to take it under center, and he's going to hand it back off the running back, who's going to take it bit up. Looks like a gain of about 2 yards on the carry. I believe that was Sal Yanez again.
I think so, Max. And going back to Matt Young, he kind of reminds me, now I know he's young and he's not there in college yet, he kind of reminds me of his dad, Fred Young, the New Mexico State linebacker legend who went on to play for the Seahawks, because his dad was such a dominant force and played his tail off. Very, very physical and bruising player, especially on kickoffs. I think one of the biggest hits I've ever seen is a Monday Night Football rerun there when he played for the Seahawks. Looks a lot like his dad, Matt Young, does.
Sanchez lined back up under center, sends a man in motion, and he's going to take it up the left side of the field, quarterback keeper, and it looks like he might have gotten a yard on the play. Not very effective. We got about 2 minutes left to go in the quarter.
And right there, Max, we saw the first example of Aaron Sanchez missing the read here in this game. If he would have pitched it and not kept the ball, his running back would have had a significant amount of space and could have gained the first down. However, he made the wrong read and only gained 2 yards, which sets up 3rd and long.
And I think Mike Bradley and Aaron Sanchez might be overestimating the ability of that dual threat QB. Now, Onate's going to have it back 3rd and 7. Let's see if they're going to trust in their run game or go for a pass, but it looks like the former. Sends Sal Young in motion, and he's going to look out to his right, and Aaron Sanchez sent a pass out to number 23, but it is dropped. It looks like it's going to be 4th and 7 again with that incomplete pass.
And I think the Mayfield front 7 got to the quarterback a little earlier than they would have liked, so that's why that pass looked a little improvised, and it worked well, but Josiah Fielder wasn't able to hang on.
Cameron. But also props to that Mayfield defensive back. He was sure on his tail that whole time. And we got about 1:28 left to go in the half. Onate's gonna have it 4 and 7. Looks like they're going for the field goal. Let's see if Mayfield can stop him again. Nope. And it is going to be good, and that will make it 10-7 Knights with 1:23 left to go in the half.
What a great kick there, and we saw Jared Rico kind of bobble the count on his first attempted field goal. A chip shot that wasn't successful, but there on the 36-yard field goal, he was successful. I was surprised to see that, but good job by that kid of knocking it through the uprights.
Yeah, for sure. He certainly learned from last time. Let's see, Mayfield's going to get the ball back and try and move the chains here, keep things going. Going to have back on the field Torrey Laughlin, who did a fantastic job last drive, by the way. I mean, like we said, things started out kind of shaky, but after that connection downfield, which got the ball down to the 20, and they utilized that run game and put 7 on the board.
It did really work well through the air on that last drive for Mayfield. So if I'm Mike Bradley, I tell my team, hey, we got 1:23 left. Hopefully we'll get good field position here on this kickoff. Why not try and punch it into the end zone? We've got all our timeouts left. I'm sorry, 2 of our timeouts left. I didn't realize that they'd called one of their timeouts. Why not try and punch it in through the air because it was so successful on the last drive?
And Jared Rico looks like he's lined up to punt the ball. And kick off, my bad. And he's going to send it right down the middle. And Mayfield is going to have a touchback there, landing right in the end zone. Mayfield will have it back 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Great strong kick there by Jared Rico. You don't see that very often in the high school ball down here. A kicker being able to send it into the end zone for a touchback. But 2 great plays consecutively by Jared Rico with the long field goal attempt and the touchback on the kickoff.
For sure, and we can see completely different ideals. I mean, Mayfield is stuck to the squib and onside kick. Well, Jared Rico just sends it far down the middle, deep into Trojan territory. Now the Trojans are going to have it back. Torrey Laughlin lined up in the shotgun. Receivers out to both sides. He's going to drop back, looking to his left, and he's going to send it far out, and it is going to be caught wide open. And that was the Mayfield receiver, I believe Trevor Sanchez, number 28, and that is going to put Mayfield back at just about the Onate 40-yard line. Great job.
That was a complete lack of discipline there by the Onate defense. It almost looked like they had 10 players on the field, like they were missing someone. And good job there by the Mayfield offensive line. They gave their quarterback, Torrey Laughlin, all day to throw, and sure enough, he hooked up with his favorite target, number 16, Gavin Swinson.
I agree, Cameron. A failure on both conditioning and execution. Looks like there's a flag down on the field. Not sure what it's about. What do you think, Cameron?
Max, I think they're going to get a holding. Oh, I'm sorry. The ref just pointed to the wrong side there, but I think that penalty, whatever it may be, negated the long pass play there, so they're going to have to try again here, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line.
Indeed. Now we got about 1:17 left to go in the half. Again, my name is Max Sanchez, and I'm joined here by my partner, Cameron Castillo.
Let's see what the call is now. I think he's going to clarify here. Brent Jacquez is not happy that they went ahead and picked up the flag. So sure enough, the play is going to stand and not be negated by a penalty. So Mayfield is going to have the ball in good field position with just over a minute left here in the half.
That'll move them far downfield. A very careless mistake, Cameron. And The Trojans are going to have it back 1st and 10 at just about the Onate 39-yard line.
Mayfield's going to huddle here. They haven't really huddled much in this game, but looks like they want to try and get it together in order to score with about a minute left.
For sure. Now Laughlin's lined back up in the shotgun. 2 receivers out to his right. See if he's going to drop back for the pass or hand it off. Looks like he's going to keep it. Play action pass off to his right. Getting pressure. He's scrambling up the field. He's going to his left, and he is sat down just short of that Trojan first down.
Matt Young there, Max, came in like a heat-seeking missile from the rear of Torrey Laughlin, sat him down. Looks like he's okay. He's a tough kid there. He's able to stand in there in the pocket and when he scrambles and take those hard hits.
Some pretty awesome imagery there, Cameron. Now the clock is winding down. Less than 50 seconds left to go in the half. And the Trojans are going to have it back 2nd and 3 from the Onate 32-yard line. Laughlin's lined back up in the shotgun, and he is going to keep it. It's the quarterback keeper, and he's going to run it off the left side. That is going to move the chains for the Trojans. And he's going to run it out of bounds, and that will stop the clock. Great job. We haven't seen lots of Laughlin's dual threat ability tonight.
That was a wise play there by Torrey Laughlin, Max. Not only to get the first down, but to stop the clock. And he didn't try and force it. And I like to see it when quarterbacks say, you know what, I'm going to take the hit or I'm going to take off. I'm not going to try and force anything and cost my team a turnover.
Exactly. You have to let the play develop, Cameron, and make smart decisions. Now 30 seconds left to go in the half. Let's see if Mayfield can execute. Laughlin lined back up in the shotgun again. Pull back to his side. And he's going to drop back, looking to his right. And he is scrambling, lots of pressure, and he's going to be sat down. Looks like he might have gotten, I don't believe, any yards on the play. Fantastic job by that night front seven.
And I think with that, Mayfield's going to take a timeout, which is wise to try and regroup here, to try and force some throws into the end zone before halftime starts. Right there, Max, that was a covered sack. That wasn't the fault of the Mayfield offensive line. They held their ground there for a good amount of time. But the Onate defensive backs forced that sack because they were able to stop those wide receivers before they got open.
Exactly, Cameron. All components of the defense are vital, especially when it's crunch time with less than 30 seconds left to go in the half. We'll see if Mayfield can perform. They're down by 3 points. It'll be 2nd and 10 Trojans at the Onate 27-yard line.
And if I'm the offensive coordinator for Mayfield, I know that my quarterback has a pretty strong arm and that my receivers, Austin C. and Gavin Swenson, are capable of winning those 50-50 balls. So why not just let them run a route into the end zone and throw it up and see if they'll come down with it. That's worked in the past, and let's see if it can work right now.
Exactly. Go either way. Looks like Laughlin's lined back up in the shotgun, trips out to his right. And Onate's expecting it, though, so they're mixing in the nickel formation. Laughlin looking to his right. Let's put some pressure on him. He's scrambling up the right side of the field. There's a flag out. Laughlin's still going. He's at the 15. He's at the 10. And he's going to be sat down. That'll move the chains. Not sure how this flag will impact things.
Flag of the play.
Let's see here. If the flag doesn't end up going against Mayfield, what a great job there by the entire Mayfield team of keeping their composure and staying disciplined and not freaking out when the play broke down and gaining 15 yards there when they could have gained little to none.
Well, I think that Trojan O-line, I mean, they certainly kept Laughlin in the pocket. They left a hole open for him, and he just took it right up.
And they are going to get a hold on the defense, so obviously Mayfield will decline it and the play will stand.
And they'll move the chains for the Trojans, and they will have it back 1st and 10 at just about the Onate 10-yard line. See if Mayfield can execute with 16 seconds left to go in the half. They've got one timeout left. Laughlin's going to take it, looking out to his left, and he's going to send it far out, and it is caught. Great catch, and that'll be a Trojan touchdown. Fantastic jump. I'd love to see that kid's vertical. Wow.
Well, Max, that was Gavin Swenson, and like you like to say, if you're committed to go to school for free to play football, there's reasons for that. And that tremendous display of athleticism there by Gavin Swenson is the reason why he's getting a full ride to New Mexico State next fall.
Great job, both the QB and the receiver, to stay calm, cool, and collected and put 6 on the board. Trying to make it 7 right here with 8 seconds left to go in the first half. Now the Mayfield kicker is running back onto the field, Caleb Conaway. He's going to try and put it into the uprights. Conaway's lined up. He's going to send it up, and that will do it. Now it's going to be 14-10 Trojans with 8 seconds left to go in the half. Very, very impressive.
And if you're a Mayfield fan, you really do like to see that you're able to drive down the field with little time remaining and punch the ball into the end zone. That gives your team a tremendous amount of momentum heading into halftime, and it also works out by chance because you will be receiving the kickoff at the beginning of the second half.
Exactly, Cameron. Let's see if Brent Jacquez and that Onate offense are going to have anything happen in these last 8 seconds. No, it's doubtful.
Now with 8 seconds here, unless Onate gets the ball back and they're able to run the ball down to like the 30-yard line, I say with 8 seconds left in the half, you take a knee. Don't try and do anything stupid and be miraculous and get your players injured. Take a knee, go into halftime, and work on your strategy of stopping this Mayfield passing attack in the second half.
Exactly, Cameron. They're only down by 4 points, and with 8 seconds left, I mean, you just got to start preparing yourself for that locker room pep talk and get people juiced up to go into the third quarter. Now, Mayfield still has quite a bit of chatter. They're talking in their huddle. And out there, everyone is still spread out. Mayfield's going to head back onto the field. And they're going to kick off with Caleb Conaway with his big old leg. And we have 8 seconds left to go in the half. Again, the Trojans are up 14-10 with 8 seconds left to go in the second quarter. My apologies. Now they're doing the same thing they did, Cameron. They're gathering back up.
So let's see. That was indicative of an onside kick in the first 2 times that they tried it. Let's see if they do it again.
Guess we'll find out. See if they're going to fake it or actually go for it this time. This is a very interesting signature, I guess you could say, by the Trojans. Not sure if this is for them particularly or what. Yeah, see, they're always just going to fake it and then go back and do it for real. I'm not sure who came up with that, if it was Michael Bradley, maybe leader Torrey Laughlin, quarterback for the Trojans. That's interesting. Now Mayfield is going to kick off. Caleb Conaway sends it right down the middle as always. And Onate is going to take it right up the right. The running back is still going. He's going to be sat down with 1 second left to go in the half. I'm sure Onate is just going to take a knee right about their own 45-yard line.
You know, Max, as you were saying earlier, that odd kicking formation there to kick the ball off for Mayfield is something that I've never seen at any level of football. Heck, even the Canadian Football League. I've never seen that before. Interesting to see that, and interesting how they use that to prompt an onside kick or a deep kick back into the end zone.
Very, very interesting. And I mean, I think the things that have surprised me most in this first half, particularly that Isaac Vance hasn't been as much of a weapon for the Trojans. They've mostly stuck to the passing game. And then also for the Knights, I think they've utilized Aaron Sanchez's sort of, I guess you could say, hidden dual threat capabilities. And that'll end it with the Onate knee. And we're going to head back into halftime, folks, with Trojans up 14-10.
Mayfield 14, Onate 10. instructors are Valentino Leva and Danny Bidwell. Color guard instructors are Katie Mullen and Brenna Gilsdorf. Marching instructors are Stephen Castronena, Pete Petrucci, and Brent Phelps. The RKR show title is In the Moment, featuring Rihanna and Jamie Cullens' Don't Stop the Music, Radiohead's Paranoid Android, and John Mackey's Asphalt Cocktail. The tenor saxophone soloist is Jared Sines. Drum majors Maddie Mitchell, Rose Lee, Elizabeth Peralta, and Peyton Womble. Is your band ready? You may take the field for halftime entertainment.
Welcome back, guys. We took a brief halftime intermission. Shout out to the Onate band for that fantastic performance. And we're going to come back to you guys just about 3 minutes out from the beginning of the third quarter with the Mayfield Trojans up by 4 points. Cameron, what do you think that Onate will do to bounce back from this small, but I mean, still could be significant deficit?
Well, I think Onate needs to change their defensive secondary formation to double team guys like Austin Say and Gavin Swenson, because they were able to win all those 50-50 balls there on the last few drives of the second quarter, which led to 2 quick touchdowns by Mayfield.
I agree. And then I think also on the Onate offensive side, they can't be relying on Aaron Sanchez's dual threat capabilities as much. I think that the onyeate run game, the Trojans have adjusted to, but particularly Sanchez's capabilities.
Absolutely, Max. And Onate's run game has proved potent in the past, and it did work. However, they never really found that huge spark or great running play that you look for if you're an Onate fan, because this offense is so centered and focused on the run game. You want to see a lot more production from the run game in the second half.
I agree, Cameron. And then I think the Trojans, even though they're up by 4, I think they could switch things up a bit on the ground game and start trying to get some yards there and start utilizing weapons like Isaac Vance and see if they can put some points on the board.
Well, Max, Isaac Vance, who is a very, very talented running back, was not able to get really anything going there in the first half, which I was very surprised to see. But it is this strong Onate front seven anchored by Matt Young and Forrest McKee at linebacker. They were able to slow him down pretty much all night in the first half.
Completely, and like you say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I'm sure that's exactly what Torrey Laughlin is going to do under the coaching of Mike Bradley. Both teams have come back onto the field. Both student sections are pretty hyped to get things started up. Let's see how things shape up here in the third quarter at the Field of Dreams. We're about 1:38 out from the beginning of the third.
Now, it's critical that Mayfield, who should be receiving the second half kickoff, goes down there, and if you're a Trojans fan, you want to see them score here to keep the momentum. They earned a lot of momentum later in the second quarter by lighting them up through the air with Gavin Swenson, and Austin Say. And I think they need to continue that momentum here on their first offensive possession of the second half.
And certainly, speaking of momentum, when we started to get things kicked off and there was that massive turnover that was forced by the Knights, it was truly fantastic.
It was, and those turnovers we always talk about, and you'll hear us, the folks at home will always hear us say and talk about momentum as a critical component of the game of football. And we've seen that here tonight. Mayfield has all the momentum. They were able to score 2 touchdowns unanswered. So let's see if they can keep it up here in the second half.
Indeed. Onyate's just getting ready to kick off the second half. And they have got Rico set up to kick down the field. The farthest Trojan receivers are back at about the 5-yard line. Now let's get things kicked off here. Shakiness. I think Mayfield's calling a couple audibles from the sideline. There's the whistle. Rico's going to kick things off for us. Send it right down the middle. Very strong. And the Mayfield receiver's going to take it up to their 10-yard line, their 20-yard line. He's running up the right side of the field, and he's going to be down at just about the Mayfield 15-yard line.
Great kick coverage there by the Onate Knights, and like you said earlier, it looked like Coach Bradley was trying to switch things up there for his special teams kick return team, and it didn't prove to be successful, as Onate had a lot of guys come off the right side of the field and tackle the ball carrier at about the 16-yard line.
Certainly, Brent Jacques's very strong defense certainly came through and held them to deep into their own territory. Now we're about a couple seconds into the third quarter, and the Trojans are going to have it. Torrey Laughlin's going to line up in the shotgun, and he is going to hand it off to the running back, who's going to take it up for about a gain of looks like maybe 2 yards.
Once again, not a whole lot of success there on the ground for the running back. Let's see if they will look to open things up through the air here to gain or to keep up with that momentum that they earned in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think they might have tried to switch it up. Plus, it was also first down. I mean, you can just run it up the middle, see what happens. I mean, this Knight defense is pretty strong, but you never know. You could break through and find a hole.
That's right, Max. That's right. It's good to weigh your options there on first down.
Definitely. Torrey Laughlin's line back up in the shotgun, trips out to his left. He's going to break back, looking to his left, and he's going to send it far out left, and it is going to be caught by the Mayfield receiver. He's at the 30, he's at the 20, he's at the 10, and that is going to be a Trojan touchdown. Pass caught by Mayfield number 5, Stephen Gay. Fantastic job by Gay of putting 6 on the board.
And what a great throw there by Torrey Laughlin. He was able to find Gay, and that was a very deep ball that he threw there, and he was still able to make the connection.
The Gay connected well. He just really pulled it in there. I mean, that was fantastic. I thought that he was going to drop the pass here, and it was right over his head. And certainly a difficult one, even with the accuracy of Laughlin, but he pulled it right in and put some points on the board for the Trojans to get things started off with some nice momentum in the second half. And Trojans are going to send it up the uprights, and that's going to make it 21-10 Mayfield with about 11 minutes to go in the second half. And that extra point was made by Caleb Conaway.
A lot of momentum here, a lot of energy on the Mayfield side, which they're the visitors, so they're on the far side of your screen. More energy and electricity than we've seen from that side of the field all night. Now on that play, Max, I think Onate and their defensive coaching staff was expecting a run just because throughout the first half of the game, Mayfield liked to run the ball with Isaac Vance on first and second down. So it was second down there, and they had a lot of guys in the box expecting a run. Didn't have a deep safety who was able to cover Stephen Gay, and that's why they were able to get the long touchdown pass.
Exactly, Cameron. He was wide open. Now the Trojans are going to kick back off. Only 53 seconds into the second half. This is already interesting, and I am excited.
Now it's critical if you're Onate to respond and use whatever means necessary to respond. So if the run game isn't working early on in this drive, Coach Jack has to say, you know what, we don't want to lose all the momentum and progress in this game. Let's try things through the air because we do not want Mayfield to get ahead like that.
And this Mayfield signature fake here, that's very interesting. I'd certainly like to look into that after this game is over. Now Conaway is going to be kicking off for the Trojans. Farthest Onate kick returner set at their own 10-yard line. Conaway is going to send it back out, and looks like it's going to be another squib kick. But Onate is going to take it down at just about their own 45-yard.
And Max, that wasn't much of a squib kick there, although the ball did have a wobble that looked like that of a squib kick. That was another onside attempt. That's the third onside attempt that we've seen from Caleb Conaway and his Mayfield kicking team, which I'm kind of surprised because onsides aren't typically very successful. And if you fail to succeed on them, your opponent gets great field position to start their drive.
Yeah, I think might have maybe a bit questionable on that Mayfield special teams coach. And I mean, they did that all through all quarters, Cameron. And I mean, usually that's something you see towards the end of the game, or if you're in a pretty big hole. Now Aaron Sanchez is going to line up under center. He's going to hand it off, and no, he's going to pitch it back out to his running back, who's going to take it up, and looks like he's going to be down. Sal Yanez had the ball, and looks like no gain on the carry.
Great effort there by the Mayfield defender, number 9, Joseph Ruiz. He got off his block quickly there and kind of reached over the guy who was blocking him in order to force the running back, Sal Yanez, out of bounds.
Definitely, Cameron. Yanez is very physical, so it takes an equally physical defender on the Mayfield side to push him out of bounds and hold him to no gain. It'll be second and 10, Onate, my bad, from their own 45-yard line with 11 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Now Aaron Sanchez, looks like his receivers are pretty stacked in. Wouldn't surprise me if this is a run play right here. Sanchez is going to keep it. He's scrambling, and he's going to be sat down for a loss of about a couple yards. A bit of animosity towards the left side of the field by a couple of receivers, and he's going to lose a couple yards on the play. Looks like it's going to be Onate, 3rd and 12.
And Max, what happened there was for the second time in a row when Aaron Sanchez had that play called, he made the wrong read and decided to keep it to himself, whereas if he would have pitched it to the running back Sal Yanez, Yanez would have been able to gain a decent amount of yardage. However, he kept it and was driven back for a loss of about 3 or 4 yards.
And as I had suggested earlier before kickoff, I think they're perhaps relying too much on Aaron Sanchez's dual threat capabilities, and that's going to slow him down. Looks like another run play here. Sanchez lined up under center. It's 3rd and 13. Sends a man in motion. He's going to drop back, looking to his right, and sends a screen pass out to the receiver, who is going to be taken out of bounds. That was Sal Yanez again. It looks like a gain of maybe 2 or 3.
And, you know, great job by the Mayfield secondary and the outside linebackers for covering those receivers there, because initially Aaron Sanchez was looking downfield to try and complete a pass to gain the first down yardage necessary. However, he had to check it down because of the great coverage by the Mayfield Trojans.
It looks like they're going to put this 4th and 6. More than I initially thought Giannis had gotten on the play. It's still a bit too long, and the Knights are going to punt here. And the farthest Mayfield kick returner is set back at just about their 15-yard line. It's sent back by Rico. Is knocked down. It is going to be sat down by Onate at the Mayfield 20-yard line. Now Troy Lachlan, his receiver, is going to come back on the field, try to make some magic happen.
Right there, Max, the dice kind of rolled in Mayfield and Michael Bradley's favor there because they gambled with that onside kick, which was unsuccessful and gave Onate great field position. However, the Mayfield defense did a great job of getting off the field quickly and giving the ball back to their offense.
I completely agree. Those physical front seven did a fantastic job of stopping Sal Yanez on consecutive plays. And now it's 9:57 left to go in the third quarter. Mayfield's going to have it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Lachlan lined up in the shotgun. Receivers out to both sides, but he's going to hand it off. The running back's going to get about 4 yards on the carry. I believe 5. And I believe that was Mayfield running back number 35, James Quigg.
That was the first time we've seen Mr. Quigg out there carrying the ball. Only 5'7", but he sure does pack a punch there against that defensive front seven.
Indeed, Cameron. It's going to be 2nd and 5 for the Trojans. Both teams with all timeouts. And Trojans have an 11-point advantage over Onate. Lachlan line back up in the shotgun, trips out to his right, and full back to his side. He's going to take it looking off to his right, looking off. He doesn't see anyone. He's scrambling off to the left, and he's going to be sat down for looks about perhaps a gain of none, maybe even a loss on the carry.
And that was a coverage tackle there by Onate. The secondary did a great job of not giving those receivers any room to get open because of that. Torrey Lachlan didn't want to force anything, which was wise, and he took the sack.
Exactly, Cameron. And that Mayfield O-line hasn't been very impressive against this Onate front seven. Torrey Lachlan took an L right there. Now we got 8:46 left to go in the third quarter. 3rd and 6 for Mayfield. And Lachlan is going to take it, trips back out to the right again. In the shotgun, he's going to take it, looking off to his right, and he tries to throw it, but it is knocked back down, and looks like that's going to be an incomplete pass for the Trojans.
Yeah, Max, I think Onate is kind of thinking that should be a fumble, but I do believe that Torrey Lachlan's arm was coming forward there on that play, therefore it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, he certainly had some forward motion. Great job of the refs to catch that. Now it is going to be 4th and 6 for the Trojans, and I'd punt, and looks like that's what they're exactly going to do. Maybe they're going to go for it, Cameron.
Oh, I believe they're going to punt. This is another weird special teams formation. You see Gavin Swinson backing up there behind the line of scrimmage to punt it.
Yeah, looks like they were just going to have some conversation right there. Now they're going to send it back to Gavin Swinson. Farthest Onate returner is at their own 35-yard line. Swinson sends it down the middle, and it is tapped down, and it's going to go out of bounds at just about. No, it's going to be down. By Mayfield at just about the Onate 32-yard line. Now Aaron Sanchez, Matt Young, Sal Yanez, and the rest of their lit crew is going to have it back and see if they can put some points on the board with 8:21 left to go in the third quarter.
You know, Mayfield once again wanted to keep working with what had been so successful for them in this game. They wanted to throw the ball on that last drive there. However, the Onate defensive line and secondary was able to step up and pressure that quarterback and not allow him any open receivers, therefore resulting in a 3-and-out for the Trojans.
Exactly, Graham. You have to just give a ton of respect to that Onate secondary. Now the offense, it's their turn to perform. They're all stacked up. Looks like it's going to be another run play here. Very easily readable by the Trojans. This seems to be a very constant motif tonight, Cameron.
It does, but it's working.
Exactly. Aaron Sanchez lined up under center. He's going to keep it. Quarterback keeper is going to send it out to his halfback, who's going to keep running. Sal Yanez is trying to go up the middle. And he's going to be stopped short, looks like, for maybe a loss of 1 yard. And it looks like there's a bit of action. I think Mayfield thought they might have had the ball. No.
You know, Max, those refs, those officials just went ahead and let the play carry out, although Sal Yanez's forward progress was stopped. They probably should have whistled the play dead a little bit earlier, but still not an egregious mistake there.
I believe so. We got 7:50 left to go in the third quarter. Once again, another shout out to Corner Deli for their fantastic sandwiches who got us energized to come in to this second half. My name is Max Sanchez, and I'm joined by my co-anchor Cameron Castillo, who are student commentators broadcasting to you live courtesy of LCPS television. Now Aaron Sanchez is going to be lined back up again under center. So Onate's trying to blitz here. Sends a man in motion. Sanchez is going to keep it, and he's running up the middle. Looks like he's going to have a gain of about 4 yards. That was just complete physicality, Cameron. His legs didn't move too much. It was all his upper body.
Yes, and a great physical run there by Aaron Sanchez. However, Onate has tried that quarterback run or quarterback option there the past few drives, and it hasn't proved to be very successful. So let's see if they go to another scheme or plan here to gain more yardage here on third down.
Onate is going to have the ball 3rd and 6 with 6:50 left to go in the third quarter. Still down by an 11-point deficit. Aaron Sanchez lined back up again under center with 2 running backs to his back. He's going to take it, pitch it out back to the tailback, who's going to keep pushing it forward. He's broken loose. He's at the 50. He's at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown Knights. And I believe that was Sal Yanez, Cameron. Great performance. Way to break through.
A great, unbelievable 65-yard touchdown run. Sal Yanez showed great patience there. Initially when the play began, there wasn't a hole there for him to run through, but he waited patiently, and once that gap opened up, he went right through it and scored a touchdown.
Yeah, it was pitched back, and once he found the hole, he let the play develop, and then he just turned on the afterburners, and whoa! Great job by Sal. So now we got 6:25 left to go in the third quarter. Onate is going to go for the extra point. And it is going to be good. So Onate is going to move things up. And we have a 4-point deficit again. It is 17-21 Trojans with 6:25 left to go in the third quarter.
You know, Max, as you said earlier, when talking about this Onate run game, that hasn't been particularly effective. However, it is working somewhat for them. You said if they just keep grinding away there through the tackle boxes with the run game, eventually something should open up. And right there, you saw what you were describing or predicting.
And neither the Mayfield front seven nor their O-lines have been very impressive. And I think Matt Young and the rest of that offense just sort of wore them down. He broke through and put 7 on the board. And Onate is going to kick back off here with Rico. Rico setting the ball up. Farthest Mayfield returner is set back at their 5-yard line. We got 6:25 left to go in the third quarter. Mayfield up by 4, 21-17 Trojans. Rico's lined up again. He's set up. Looks like the Onate student section is pretty excited. He's going to send it back out deep in the middle. He's going to be grabbed by the Mayfield kick returner, who's going to take it back up, and he's trying to break some ankles. But it looks like he's going to be sat down at just about the 20-yard line. And Torrey Laughlin's going to come back out for the Trojans to try and make things happen.
On the return, back to the 20, 1st and 10. Trojans.
Now let's see. I don't know, Cameron. The Trojans have had a pretty turbulent first part of this third quarter. I mean, they scored early, but then, that Onate running back, Sal Yanez, just broke through. And let's see if it tore down their momentum or they still have
That's
some confidence.
exactly right. I'm interested to see if they stick with the passing game here. It wasn't successful the last drive, but it was the previous 3 or 4 drives.
Laughlin line back up in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off to the running back, who's going to get maybe about 1 yard on the carry.
Kind of the same story there, but just a different time. They ran the play on first down for little to no yardage. So let's see what they choose to do here on second down.
Indeed.
No gain on the play.
And we got clock winding down, less than 6 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Mayfield's going to have it 2nd and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Laughlin's lined back up in the shotgun. Receivers to both sides of him. Let's see here. Laughlin's going to take the snap. He's looking out to his right. He fakes the pass and keeps it. And he's running. He still sends it out of bounds, Cameron. I think, very, very clever professional move by Laughlin. I mean, you don't want to risk getting tackled by the strong Onate defense. Just send it out.
We have, and one of the things that I've noticed tonight, this is my first time watching Torrey Laughlin in person, is the kid, although he's a junior, he still has a lot of composure and the maturity of a quarterback who you would expect to be a senior. He has a lot of moxie. He stays calm and doesn't really freak out when the play breaks down. He makes wise decisions that don't cost his team.
Very much so, Cameron. And we got about 5:30 left to go in the third quarter. And the Trojans are going to have it back 3rd and 10 after Lachlan threw it away. He's lined up back in the shotgun, sends his man in motion, bit to the left, and he's going to keep it, play action pass. Now he's running, he's scrambling out to the left side of the field, and he's going to send it out of bounds. I think the pass may have been intended for Mayfield number 16, Gavin Swinson, but things didn't turn out that way.
Brent Jack was decided to roll the dice there and send his star player number 7, Matt Young, there on a blitz rather than dropping him into coverage, and it worked. Matt Young was able to get a significant amount of pressure on Lachlan, which broke up the play and forced him to throw it away.
Certainly. Now it looks like they're going to take a timeout here, and they'll come back 4th and 10. I'm sure Mayfield's... Oh, no, not a timeout, my bad. They were just moving the ball. And Mayfield looks like they're going to punt here. I certainly would. With about 5:26 left to go in the third quarter. And the farthest Onate kick returner is set up at just about the Knight 40-yard line. Taking it. They're just taking their time here. It's sent back. Bit of a low snap. And it's sent very high and very forward. It's going to be taken back by the Onate kick returner. And he's still going. He's just at their 40. Oh! He just jumped right over that Mayfield defender. Fantastic athleticism. What a play.
What a hurdle there by that Onate returner. That kind of reminded me of Ezekiel Elliott, the former Ohio State running back. Now with the Dallas Cowboys. He became pretty famous during his time in Columbus, Ohio, for hurdling the defender like that. And usually it works, and it gets the crowd pretty excited like we're seeing right now.
Yep, him and his former teammate Braxton Miller with that spin move out there. Not sure if we'll see B. Mills tonight, but certainly a Zeke. And Onate is going to have the ball back at just about their own 49-yard line. 44, my apologies. With 5:14 left to go in the third quarter. It'll be 1st and 10 Knights. Let's see here. Farron Sanchez probably just stick to the run play this early on. He's lined up under center. And he is just going to hand it back off to the running back. And that was handed off to number 23 for Onate, Josiah Fielder, who looks like got about 4 yards on the carry. Nice way. He was very, very physical. Way to spin by those Trojan defenders and pick up some more yardage.
Fielder has seen a lot of snaps tonight along with Sal Yanes, and we haven't seen any from Jake Elmore, although he has lined up as a blocking fullback. We haven't seen him carry the ball tonight, which I'm kind of surprised because he had a great performance a couple weeks ago with over 100 yards on the ground versus Sandia.
I'm not sure. About 4:40 left to go in the third quarter. Sanchez lined back up again. He sends a man in motion. He's going to hand it off again to Fielder, who's going to take it forward, and that'll move the chains. I don't believe that was Fielder. My apologies. But that will move the chains for the Knights.
That was a handoff to Matt Young there, and he took the ball out of the fullback position and was able to gain the yardage needed for first down. Just kind of ran over and ran through that Mayfield front seven on his way to another Knight first down.
Very versatile and physical backs. And Onate's pretty stacked in that area. And they're going to have it back 1st and 10 from the Mayfield 42-yard line. Sanchez lined back up under center. He's going to take it, pitch it back out to Fielder again, who's still running, trying to break some ankles. He's pushing through. It looks like he's going to get 6 yards on the carry. Great job by Fielder again. I think he probably could have broken through on the left side, but he decided to go straight down the middle and picked up some yardage.
I think he could have, and luckily for a guy like him, he has the athleticism and the skills necessary to make those quick decisions. If I went out there and I tried to make that, I'd probably hurt myself or get tackled pretty badly.
That's fair to say, Cameron. And we got about 3:40 left to go in the third quarter. Onyate's going to have it back 2nd and 6 with Fielder's 4-yard gain on the last play. Still down by a 4-point deficit, 21-17 Trojans. Sanchez lined back up under center. He's going to take it, and he's going to hand it off for little to no gain by that Onate running back. It looks like Sanchez is talking a bit to the sideline. I think there might have been some miscommunication between him and Jackless.
So here we go, 3rd and 5 here. And this drive, Max, has looked pretty strong so far. Let's see if they can keep it going here. This is a pretty critical play to maintain the momentum for the Knights.
Indeed, Cameron. The Knights are going to have it 3rd and 5 from that Mayfield 38-yard line. Clock ticking down with less than 3 minutes left to go in this quarter. Sanchez lined back up under center. Looks like Mayfield's blitz, and I'm sure that they expect a run play here, and they're going to get one. And he's running up. That is running back. He's taking it to the 10-yard line, and that is going to be an Onate touchdown. That puts 6 on the board for the Knights.
What a great run there. A tremendous dual-threat quarterback, Aaron Sanchez, has proved that he can play ball not only through the air but on the ground tonight. I'm very, very impressed by him. We didn't see a whole lot of that versus Sandia, but tonight against Mayfield, a big game versus a crosstown rival, he really has stepped up on the ground.
Definitely. His dual-threat capabilities weren't shaping up at the beginning of this quarter, but it certainly paid off. He was weaving in and out and put 6 on the board. Onate hoping to make it 7 with Rico lining up for the extra point. Let's see here. And it is going to be good, and that will make it 24-21 Knights with 2:43 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Great shot by Onate.
So now, Max, all the energy and all the electricity that I mentioned about 10 minutes ago that was on the far side of the field, that Mayfield side has shifted back over to the home side. The Onate Knights crowd is really excited. The football team's excited. They've scored 2 unanswered touchdowns and certainly have the momentum here in this game.
Certainly, Cameron. But Torrey Laughlin is very calm, collected, and cool leader. And him combined with his receivers, Gavin Swinson and Isaac Vance, I'm sure they plan to make things happen. And they certainly have the capability
to execute. And let's see, they certainly wanted to get the passing game going again on the last 2 drives. However, that Onate secondary was able to hold those receivers and didn't give them really any room to run, which is great. You have to be really proud of your secondary if you're an Onate fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that we can just contribute that more to that Onate defense and the Trojan offense. But still, I mean, an L is an L, and Onate is going to kick it back. And the farthest Trojan kick returner is sent back at about their 5-yard line. 2:43 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Knights up by 3 points. And they're going to send it off. It is going to be returned by the Trojans, who's taking it up to the 15, the 20-yard line. It looks like he's going to be down at just about the Trojans' own 25-yard line. And Laughlin's going to get back out there. We'll see if he's going to kill it in the air game or maybe try the ground game.
Max, if I'm Michael Bradley, obviously the interior running game hasn't been successful. In the last 2 drives, the passing game hasn't been successful. So I'd like to use the athleticism of Isaac Vance to maybe try to get some successful runs outside of the tackle box.
We haven't seen a lot from Vance tonight, but he certainly could shape up. It's crunch time here with just a 3-point deficit. Things are getting interesting. Now Laughlin is lined back up in the shotgun. Vance right next to him. Sends Vance in motion. And he's going to hand it off to Vance, who's taking it up the right side of the field. And he's still going. He's going to move the chains for the Trojans. Get a nice 10-yard gain on the play. Wow, Cameron, you pretty much just mirrored what you were talking about.
Wow, I'm not going to take credit for it, but that's pretty cool. That outside of the tackle run there by Isaac Vance, we know he's athletic. There's a reason why he's committed to Kent State. And it worked. So let's see if that spark of momentum will carry on this drive.
It wouldn't surprise me. We got 2:30 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Onate is going to have it back 1st and 10. Laughlin lined back up in the shotgun. 2 receivers out to his left, but I think they'll probably stick to the run game. He's going to keep it on the quarterback keeper. Laughlin trying to push, but looks like it's going to be no gain, perhaps 1 at the most. Yeah, Laughlin, I don't know. I mean, we've seen a bit of dual threat capability, but certainly not on that play from Laughlin.
Yeah, the true dual threat in this game has proved to be Aaron Sanchez with that great touchdown run that he just showed us a few minutes ago. Laughlin's more of a passer. He's the better passer of the 2, and if I'm Michael Bradley, I use his passing skills to my benefit.
And it's certainly paid off. Now we got about less than 2 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. Knights still up by 3, and with that 1-yard gain by Laughlin, it's going to be 2nd and 9 for the Trojans, where Laughlin's lined up in the shotgun. Looks like a false start is going to be on that Onate team. Or, my apologies, on the Trojan team. What do you think, Cameron?
I agree with you, Max, and you certainly don't want to do that because that's going to leave you with 2nd and 14, which has proved to be hard to manage here for your team. So let's see if they're able. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. That's going to be an offsides call on the Knights. They went ahead and said that an Onate defensive lineman jumped into the neutral zone there a little too early. So that leaves you with 2nd and 4. which gives you a lot of options in terms of running the ball and a short hitch route.
Very, very manageable, Cameron, especially with Vance coming through at the beginning of this drive. And Laughlin's going to take it in the shotgun, sends number 11 in motion to the side, and he's going to hand it off the running back who's broken free. That's Vance. He's at the 40, and he's going to be sat down at just about the Onate 35-yard line. Great job of breaking through by Isaac.
Another burst there for Vance, and this is by far, Max, the greatest drive that he's had so far in this game. And I was surprised there. Isaac Vance is only 5'8", 165 pounds, and instead of trying to go around that Onate defender there, he ran right into him, lowered his shoulder, and took the hit. Like to see that. Shows a lot of toughness out of that player.
Yeah, exactly, Cameron. He kind of mirrored his counterpart on the other team, Young, who's very, very physical.
Very physical, but a lot taller and bigger.
This is true. Now we got Laughlin line back up in the shotgun. Looks like Onate might be expecting a pass here. And he's going to hand it off, and it is going to run up for just about a gain of 3 yards by that Trojan running back. With less than 1 minute left to go in this third quarter, Knight's still up by 3, but Mayfield looking to change that real quick. It's going to be 2nd and 8 for the Trojans. They're huddled up, a bit of chatter here. And I'm sure these Onate D-backs are fired up to try and see if they can block a pass. But I don't know. I mean, they're set up in coverage formation, but if I was Laughlin, I wouldn't mind handing it off to Vance again. And Laughlin's going to take it, sends a man in motion, and he's going to hand it off for that jet sweep by Mayfield number 11, who's going to take it up for a gain of about 3 yards. And that was run by Mayfield's number 11, Chris Martiyuen.
So now you have a lot of options here. On a previous 2nd and 4, Isaac Vance was able to gain a lot of yards through the middle. However, this Onate defense is kind of hard to penetrate up through the middle with Forrest McKee and Matt Young up there. So let's see what they do. If I'm Michael Bradley, I think I use my quarterback's accuracy and throw a little hitch route to get the first down.
And the clock is going to wind down, and it is going to be the 4th quarter here at the Field of Dreams. And the Trojans are going to have it back 3rd and 6, but on the opposite side of the field now. And I think on this 3rd and 6 situation, I would not be surprised if Laughlin tried to pass it, like you said. Sorry, I got a big tongue-tied there.
And even if he wants to throw a short hitch route for only 3 or 4 yards, that's okay, because in that situation, that leaves you with 4th and 2, which could end up being manageable if you decide to run the ball with Isaac Vance or another great playmaker on the outside, away from Matt Young and Forrest McKee.
Definitely, Cameron. We know that Brent Jacquess is not afraid to go big and make things exciting and take risks. And he's up by 3 points, which isn't a huge margin, but still gives him a bit of room. Now we got 4 seconds left to go before the beginning of the 4th quarter. The Onate student section seems to have some juice down there. The Trojans are going to have it back 3rd and 6. See if Laughlin can make some things happen with Vance by his side. All right, now both teams are heading back onto the field after that quick intermission for the quarter. Laughlin is going to be lined back up again at the Onate 30-yard line with 6 yards to go, 3rd and 6. Laughlin lined up in the shotgun, and he's going to take it, and he is going to hand it off to the running back, who's going to get a short gain. He was still pushing. I think they had stopped his forward momentum, but he just kept going.
He did, and that was Isaac Vance there, and he recognized that he wasn't going to have much success through that left side A-gap, so he tried to escape and get around to the right side of the play, but wasn't able to do it. Looks like Mayfield's actually going to stay on the field here and go for it on 4th down and about 6. This, Max, is where I think you should throw the ball. You can't run it through the middle, not really through the outside. Throw the ball. Count on your star receivers and your great quarterback to make a play.
I completely agree, Cameron. Laughlin is a very cool character with 3 receivers out to his right. It's going to be a timeout by Mayfield.
And that's a wise timeout, Max. You're down by 3 points with just over 11 minutes left in the game. This is a critical 4th down here. You don't want to give the ball back to Onate, who just had success on the ground game with their quarterback. You want to try and keep possession of the ball and punch it in.
I agree, and even though the Trojan QB is a very calm, cool, and collected character, nerves can still get to you in high-pressure situations like this.
They sure can, but I think, as I mentioned earlier, Torrey Laughlin plays like a seasoned veteran, man. He's very calm and collected in the pocket, and when the play breaks down, he doesn't freak out and try and force it into a bad situation that could be costly for his team. He throws it away or decides to take the sack or decides to take off and scramble, which hasn't been as successful as his counterpart Aaron Sanchez, but it could still prove to get the job done for the Trojans.
For sure, and he represents his team very well, who've won the district the last 3 years in a row. Now we got 11:19 left to go in the game. Laughlin lined back up in the shotgun. He's got two receivers out to his right and one out to his left. Now it looks like it might be another offsides on
Max,
Onate.
yeah, I agree with you. I think the left side defensive end, and I can't see his number. It's kind of hard to tell with those uniforms. I think he jumped into the neutral zone there, and yep, sure enough, they are going to get him with an offsides call, which now sets up 4th and 1. So you kind of have to scrap what you decided there on the timeout if you're Mike Bradley and decide to do something for a short yardage situation. And I run the ball here because you have been able to run it for little to no gain of about 2 or 3 yards, which all you need is 1 here.
I agree. A very careless mistake by the Onate D-line that will likely be costly concerning the momentum that the Trojans have right now, even though the 3-point deficit. And they're lining up. Laughlin is again under center, so they change things up a bit. He's going to take it, pitch it back out to the running back, Vance, who's going to trip on himself. And that is going to give the ball back to Onate. I don't believe that was Vance. And Onate is going to get the ball back at their own 30-yard line. Wow, I mean, they had a ton of momentum, but Vance, he just tripped over himself, and that was an unfortunate mistake for the Trojans.
That was, and I feel like if he wouldn't have tripped over himself there, he would have had a little bit of room to work with there. But I disagree with the call. We saw for one of the first times in the game Torrey Laughlin line up under center there, and I think it would have been pretty easy for Laughlin to just kind of sneak over that line to gain there and keep the drive alive. However, they tried with the pitch, and these Onate linebackers, Matt Young and Forrest McKee, have proved that they have tremendous closing speed, and they get things done on the outside of the tackle box.
Well, certainly not a match for that Trojan offense. Definitely overmatched. Now Onate is going to bring it back, and the running back is going to be sat back down. It looks like maybe a loss of maybe 1 yard on the carry. Now Onate is going to have it back 2nd and 13 with less than 11 minutes left to go in the game. They have a 3-point advantage over the Trojans. And all 3 timeouts to go, Cameron. Now Aaron Sanchez is going to be lined back up under center. Pretty obvious run play. Sends a man in motion, and he is going to keep it for a gain of a few yards.
Actually, Max, that was a handoff there to number 7, Matt Young. And I was actually surprised to see that the Mayfield front 7 was able to take him down for a gain of about 2 yards. He's real hard to tackle with a 235-pound frame. So good job, there by the Mayfield front 7 of taking him down.
Indeed. Now Onate is going to have it back 3rd and 9 after that very short gain. It's going to be about 10 minutes left to go in the game. And looks like this might be kind of lined up like a run play, but I think Sanchez is going to pitch it back to his running back, who's going to bring it forward. Looks like there might have been a hold. There we go. Face mask even.
Actually, Max, that was a pretty blatant face mask there. That just kind of shows a lack of discipline there. I think the Mayfield defender just kind of got too caught up in the moment and wanted to make a play, reached for the face mask, and that's going to cost his team. Because had he not done that and focused on just a nice, secure wrap-up tackle, he would have stopped the drive there. However, that's going to give him an automatic first down and keep the drive alive.
Exactly, and when you only have about 10 minutes left to go in the game and your opponent's up by 3 with a lot of momentum, you can't give him anything, particularly a face mask. Very blatant and unfortunate for that Trojan team. And Onate is going to move the chains. And that will give them another first down, and Aaron Sanchez has quite a bit of room to work.
And that's demoralizing for your Mayfield Trojans defense because you were so excited about the opportunity to get the ball off or get off the field and give the ball back to your offense, but because of that mistake, you have to keep going.
Exactly. It's very unfortunate that when a whole unit is working well, one component can just ruin it for everyone. Sanchez lined up under center. He's going to hand the ball back off the running back, and it looks like it might be turned over. The Mayfield players certainly think so, and it is going to be Trojan ball at their own 49-yard line. Wow, I think that defense came out playing angry, and they got it back.
Pretty lucky there by Mayfield after the costly penalty to force a turnover there. And all it was there was a bad exchange between Aaron Sanchez and his fullback there. We've seen him execute that play to perfection so many times tonight. However, it's not going to be perfect every time. So now Mayfield has an opportunity to take the lead here with the clock winding down.
Exactly, and that Trojan front seven took advantage of it. Now Laughlin's going to be back onto the field, ready to make waves here. Trojans just making some quick last-minute substitutions before they get back on. This Onate strong defense stacked up in the box. Looks like Laughlin's going to keep it, and he's going to toss it way downfield to number 16, and it is broken up. Pass initially intended for Mayfield receiver number 16, Gavin Swinson. Fantastic job by that Onate defensive back.
What a play, Max. What a play. A tremendous display of athleticism there by that Onate defensive back. And it's got to be pretty intimidating to have to go up one-on-one against a Division I caliber player. But great job. He showed a lot of courage and didn't back down from that one-on-one matchup.
Yeah, he certainly won the moment. And I mean, in a game where most of the momentum on the passing side of things is on the Trojans, he executed fantastic. Laughlin, he's going to hand it off to Vance, who's going to be pushing forward. Looks like a gain of maybe 1 yard on the play. And the clock is winding down. Less than 9:30 left to go in the game. There was a flag out, Cameron.
And Max, you know what? I think they're going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct call on the Onate defensive back who just made that great play against Gavin Swinson. It's tough to see that he is going to cost his team after saving his team on that play.
Indeed.
Let's see what the call is officially, though. Looks like the refs are kind of conferencing to make the correct call.
Let's listen in here. They're still talking. Head referee's coming up here. It is actually going to be on the Mayfield side of the ball.
Wow. You know, when I look down there, and I'm looking down at Monroe Young right now, who's kind of thankful that that wasn't called on him, because it really could have gone both ways. But I've been pretty proud to see that there's been a lot of sportsmanship here tonight, and that was the first display of really something that shouldn't have been done. Hopefully this game can remain clean.
Certainly, Cameron. I mean, even though these two teams are pretty big rivals, being from the same city, they certainly have a lot of respect for each other and what both can do on both the offensive and defensive sides of the ball.
Definitely, Max. And now that with that unsportsmanlike penalty, that's going to give the Trojans 2nd and 21 from their own 36-yard line with 9:25 left to go in the fourth quarter. Now you really have to open it up through the air, or else you're not going to get the line to gain for first down.
Exactly. But Laughlin has been in these situations again before, and he's been pretty cool, so let's see if he'll perform the same way. Receivers to both sides. Laughlin's going to keep it, the play-action pass off to the right, and he's going to send it to his receiver. And number 14 for Mayfield, that is going to be Austin Shea, is going to get a couple yards on the play. Quite a few yards, actually. My bad. It was 30.
Max, I think there's another one of those yellow penalty flags that everyone hates out there on the play. Let's see what the call is.
See what the head ref is going to say here.
They're actually going to be a pass interference on the offense. That's something that you really don't see very often, is a pass interference call on an offensive player. But it does happen, and it is illegal to interfere with the route of a defensive back who's trying to cover a receiver.
And I think most of the attention usually gets sent to the cornerbacks, and the Trojans certainly caught their amount of penalties.
You know what, Max? The head official just changed that call to a holding, which could be pretty similar to a pass interference, impeding and imposing on the route of a defensive back.
It all depends on the circumstances. Now we have 9:18 left to go in the game. The Knights are up by 3 points, but the Trojans are going to have the ball back. And it is going to be 3rd and 19. Mayfield. Looks like Onate is expecting a pass play. Laughlin's going to have it back. Let's see if he can execute here. Laughlin's dropping back, looking to his left side. He's scrambling, and he's going to send it far up the right. And it's going to be knocked down pass intended by Mayfield receiver number 5, Stephen Gay. I just attribute that entirely to the Onate defensive backs. Great job on double teaming them.
Great job there. And the Mayfield offensive line did a great job there giving their quarterback, Torrey Laughlin, all day to throw there. However, he did decide to throw into double coverage. And had Stephen Gay caught that ball there around the 10-yard line, there would have been a penalty flag thrown because Gay went outside of the playing field. He went out of bounds on his own. He wasn't forced out and then re-entered to try and make a play on the ball. So if he did catch it, would have been a penalty anyway.
And we got 9:11 left to go in the game. And with that incomplete pass, the Trojans are going to have it 4th and 19, and they're going to punt, which is a very good call by Mike Bradley. The Trojans are going to punt here, some deep down the middle, a bit to the right side of the field. He's going to bounce pretty far back, and it looks like the Trojans are going to set it down deep into Onate territory, and the Knights are going to bring it back at their own 15-yard line.
Max, this right here, this is my favorite time of the game. It's crunch time, you know. It's highly critical for both of these teams, for Onate to keep the ball and score and try and run as much time off the clock as possible. And for Mayfield, it's critical that their defense holds them to a 3 and out and prevents them from scoring points, because if Onate is able to run down the clock and score a touchdown here, that'd give the Trojans a 10-point deficit with little time remaining. It's crunch time.
For sure, man. Both teams have to bring out the best and maybe even the worst in themselves, depending on how they handle their nerves, if they want to come through with the W. Now it is going to be 1st and 10 Onate deep into their own territory with 9 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter. Knights still up by 3 points. Sanchez lined up under center. He's going to hand it back off to number 23, who's going to take it up for a gain of about 5 yards. Pretty good job by the Onate running back Fielder.
Josiah Fielder was actually able to bounce off one of his own offensive linemen. Great vision and patience there by Fielder, and was able to gain about 7 yards there on first down.
A bit more, so it'll be a Knights 2nd and 3 ball. The clock winding down. 8:30 left to go in the game. They're going to have it at their own 21-yard line. Still pretty far back. It's getting very, very interesting. Sanchez lined up under center, sends a man in motion, and he's going to hand it off to the running back, who's going to keep pushing forward, and he is just wrestled out of bounds. Ouch.
And that's really what you want to see at this point in the game if you're an Onate Knight fan. You do not want to see your ball carriers give up on the play, because they need to keep the drive alive. They need to get in the end zone, and they need to run the clock down.
I agree. Matt Young did a fantastic job moving the chains for Onate, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Knights at their own 30-yard line. Clock winding down, 8 minutes left to go in the game. Onate still has all of their timeouts, and Trojans still have 2 of them. This quarter has felt a lot longer than the other ones.
It sure has, Max.
Aaron Sanchez lining up under center. He's going to drop back, play action pass off to the right, and it is going to be sent to Fielder, but Fielder drops it. Fielder had wide open field ahead of him, Cameron. If he had just been a bit faster and Sanchez had not overthrown that, he could have easily put another 6 on the board for the Knights.
Max, we're sitting here on the Onate side. The press box is on the home side, and you could hear every single person on this side of the stadium gasp, thinking that Josiah Fielder was going to have an easy touchdown there. However, he let the ball slip through his hands.
Yeah, I'm completely with them, Cameron. I totally thought that he was going to have it. Now, with that incomplete pass, the Trojans are going to have it back. The Knights are going to have it back 2nd and 10 at their own 30-yard line with 7:45 left to play in the game. Sanchez is back under center. He's going to take it, hand it off to the running back Fielder again, who's going to move with about a gain of 2 yards on the carry. Yeah, Fielder, I just have attributed that all to the Trojan defensive line. The front 7 left nothing go, and it was a great read, and they sat him down real quick. There's a whistle real quick.
They sure did, Max, and I'm surprised to see, and no disrespect to the Mayfield front 7, but this Onate offensive line and running back core is so brutal. I thought they were going to have a tough time with them, but they really have risen to the occasion tonight.
Sanchez line back up under center, sends a man in motion, pitches it back out to Fielder, who's trying to take it forward, but he's going to be sat down by a member of that Trojan defensive line, grabbed him right by the legs. And no gain for Fielder.
What a great play by the Mayfield linebacker number 53. He's not appearing on my roster here. Whatever his name is, he made a great play in the backfield.
Now it's going to be 4th and 6 for the Knights. See, they have an interesting option here. They're just going to punt it. I certainly would. I mean, you're up by 3 points and you're deep in your own territory.
I agree, Max. You don't want to do anything risky or, too dumb that could cost you the game. Just punt it away and trust your defense.
Bit of a low snap there. It wobbled a bit. Ooh, Onate, not the greatest punt there. It's going to be sent out of bounds, and the Trojans looks like they're going to have it back at about the Onate 40-yard line. That didn't work out well.
And you know what? That was the product of a low snap, something that we saw cost Centennial the game against Cleveland a couple weeks ago for their homecoming. You certainly don't want that. You want to be able to execute here in crunch time and bring home a W for your school.
Certainly, Cameron. Now we got 6:15 left to go in the game.
Max, now that the ball is officially being marked at the 39-yard line, that is a 5-yard punt there. Certainly not what you want to see if you're an Onate fan.
Not at all. The Trojans are going to have the ball 1st and 10. Laughlin's lined back up in the shotgun. 3 receivers out to his right side. The ball is snapped. Laughlin takes it pretty calm. He's going to send it right out. Pass to Isaac Vance, but he is going to drop it. It's like nearly a screen pass, but if he would have caught it, that would have had some gainage.
He would, Max, and I'm actually kind of surprised to see that Mayfield hasn't called that play a whole lot in this game. It looked like it had a tremendous amount of potential there, but instead, when they pass the ball, they always look downfield, which is pretty interesting to me.
Mm-hmm. And Laughlin seemed pretty calm and composed. I mean, he wasn't moving his feet too much or freaking out. He was composed. And Laughlin back up in the shotgun again. He's going to drop back, looking to his left, sends a quick pass out to his left to Vance again, who's going to run out of bounds, and that'll move the... That pass is complete to number 5. My apologies. For Mayfield, and that was Stephen Gay again. That'll move the chains. It's going to be 1st and 10 Trojans, and they are going to start back up from the Onate 29-yard line with 6:08 left to go in the game. Laughlin line back up in the shotgun. He's going to take it looking out to his right. He's scrambling to the left now. Got some pressure on him. He's running up the left side of the field. And looks like Laughlin got a gain of about 7 yards on the play.
What a great decision there by Troy Laughlin not to force the ball into double coverage there, because it was great coverage by the Onate secondary. He was able to make something out of nothing there and gain his Trojans about 8 yards to set up 2nd and 2 from their 22-yard line.
Laughlin did a fantastic job. I mean, he recognized when he was in trouble. That O-line was just about to break down. He scrambled back right in time, and it's going to be 2nd and 2 for the Trojans with 6 minutes left to go in the game. Laughlin's lined up in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off to the running back, and it is going to be number 35 for Mayfield, who's going to move the chains, and that was James Quigg. Not sure if the chain's going to move. Let's see here.
I believe so, Max. I think he was able to reach the line to gain, yes, and now the referee is signaling the chain gang to move on up there.
That'll be a 1st down for Mayfield.
Max, this has been a pretty balanced drive. The first one that we've seen all night from Mayfield. They've been able to find success running the ball and throwing the ball. Now, if they were able to find that balance early on in the game, maybe this would be a different story here in the 4th quarter. However, it's not. 24-21 Knights with 6 minutes to go.
Very, very true. Now let's see if this Onate red zone defense. Laughlin looking out to his left side. He's scrambling up the left again. I'm getting deja vu. He's going back out. He should just toss it away. There you go. Great job of Laughlin. I think some quarterbacks who aren't quite as seasoned might have ran it back up the right side of the field, but he knew when he was beat, and he just tossed it back out.
Well, Max, you know what? I was looking down there in the end zone at that strong coverage by the Onate secondary, and Torrey Laughlin actually had Isaac Vance wide open there in the back of the end zone. However, he obviously wasn't able to recognize that and had to throw the ball away.
Yeah, so we're not as seasoned as we had initially thought on that play. 5:30 left to go in the game. Laughlin's going to have it back in the shotgun. 2 receivers out to his right. He's going to take it. Lachlan looking out to his left again. He's going to send it out towards the middle, and it is going to be intercepted.
Wait, you know what, Max?
That was caught by Isaac Vance for a touchdown on the Trojans.
Wow.
It looked like it was intercepted to me, but great job of Vance to win out on that one-on-one challenge.
Max, you know what? Not only did it look like it was intercepted, it was intercepted. Number 24, Monroe Young, made a great play on the ball, and he got up there and picked it off. But Isaac Vance didn't give up on the play, and he took the ball away from him and scored a touchdown to give his team the lead.
Great physicality by Vance, and that's going to give the Trojans the lead, 27-24, looking to make it a 4-point deficit for the Knights. Corey Coleman's lined up, and he's going to send it up through the uprights. And that is going to make it 28-24 Trojans with 5:25 left to go in the game. That was very exciting, Cameron. From my viewpoint, I mean, it could have gone back and forth, but Vance did a great job of securing the ball and putting 6 on the board for the Knights.
Certainly, Max. And like I said before, that was a very balanced drive. Mayfield was able to run the ball with their quarterback and with their running back, Isaac Vance, on the drive, but they also got things going in the passing game. The drive culminated successfully with the touchdown there. A great touchdown by Isaac Vance.
Indeed.
That was a tremendous play. That was the most impressive thing that I've seen all night, Max. The ability of Isaac Vance and the wherewithal to go up and strip that ball away from Monroe Young after he had picked it off to score the touchdown.
I concur. Him and Lachlan certainly connected again after that misread last time by Torrey. You know, the Trojans are going to kick it off. Aaron Sanchez is going to be looking to put some more points on the board and give his team the lead with 5:25 left to go in the game. Knights still have 3 timeouts, while the Trojans have 2. A bit of chatter again before they actually kick off.
Let's see what they do here. I don't think it would be very wise to attempt the onside now that you have the lead here with 5:25 left to go in the game. I think you should kick it deep.
I agree. Let's see here. The Trojans are going to fake this one real quick. That is very, very interesting, Cameron. How they all bunch up together.
I'd never seen that. I've followed football for 10 years. I'm only 15, but followed it for 10 years, and I've never seen that at any level.
All right. Caleb Conaway lining back up, and he's going to kick off for the Trojans since it's deep down the middle, a bit lower than last time, and that is going to be a touchback for Onate, and they'll have it 1st and 10. Aaron Sanchez is going to start off from his own 20-yard line.
Now let's see here what Brent Jacquez and his staff decide to do. They've got 5:25 here left in this game, and if I were them, I would keep running the ball because you have so much time left and it has proved that it's a success. Don't worry about the clock now. Just worry about what's been successful for you so far this evening.
Exactly. Play solid, conservative football, and it'll pay off in the end. Now, the Knights are down by 4 points. The score is 28-24. Trojans with 5:25 left to go in the game. Just another quick shout-out to our partner, Corner Deli, for hooking us up with those A1 sandwiches that keep us fueled throughout the game. Now, Onate set back up. Aaron Sanchez lined up under center. He's going to pitch it back out to the running back, who's going to push it forward, and he is sat down real quick for a gain of maybe 1 yard on the carry.
So if you're Onate, you really, really want to get a 3rd and manageable. Obviously the first down, but a 3rd and manageable here because you don't want to be in a situation where you're facing 3rd and long down by 4 with 5 minutes left to go in the game. You need to find success on the ground on this play.
It wouldn't surprise me if Aaron Sanchez maybe tries to switch it up a bit, not too much, maybe sends a screen pass out to Yanez or Fielder and try and gain some more yards. Sanchez lined back up under center. He is going to keep it and push forward for a gain of about 2 yards on the carry. And that will set up a third and 6 for Onate with about 4:30 left to go in the game. 3rd and 3, my apologies. He got a bit more
This
than I
is
initially
critical here.
anticipated.
3rd and 3 for the Knights. They're down by 4 points with just over 4 minutes left in the game. They have to convert here because they don't want to face a 4th down situation deep inside their own territory.
The clock is ticking down. And even though the run game has worked out, I think this Trojan defense has adapted to it. Sanchez is going to pitch it back out to Sal Yanez. Is going to keep pushing forward. And Yanez is going to break free. He's at the 50. He is at the 40. And he's going to be down by the Trojans at their own 35-yard line. great run by the
What a
running
great
back.
run by Giannis. And once again, tremendous patience there in the backfield by Giannis. Initially, when the play started, there wasn't a whole lot for him inside the tackle box, so he waited just a little bit, and it opened up. He was able to gain a substantial amount of yardage there on third down to keep the
Indeed.
drive alive, and the Knights are still in this game. But a great tackle there by number 16, Gavin Swenson, who plays also defensive back. He was able to save the touchdown there for his Trojan team.
We got less than 3:45 left to go in the game. Onate has it 1st and 10. Sandra's going to pitch it back out to the running back, who's going to keep pushing. Giannis is going to go on the outside for a gain of a couple yards on the carry. So that will sell Giannis again. And our executive producer, Bill Fox, is going crazy in the other room. Love that guy. Now we got about 3:20 left to go in the game. Onate's going to have it 2nd and 5 with a 4-point deficit. Let's see here. Not sure if they're just going to give it back to Giannis or one of the other backs. Try and make things happen. Sanchez lined up under center. He's going to hand it off again to running back, who's going to keep pushing. And that is going to move the chains for Onate. And that running back was number 7, Matt Young.
Right there, Max, we saw Matt Young. He must have broken at least 4 tackles en route to a 13-yard gain and another Knights first down. A lot of momentum here on the ground here for the Knights, who are knocking at the Trojans' goal line here with about 3 minutes left in this game.
Indeed. Onate's going to move the chains. They're going to have it back 1st and 10 at the Trojan 20-yard line. Sanchez line back up under center. He's going to take the snap and keep it, quarterback keep, and he is going to be sat down. He's still pushing. Yeah, I thought they had stopped his forward progress, but the refs didn't call the whistle, and I think Sanchez could have gotten a yard on the carry.
And a great job there by Aaron Sanchez to keep fighting, playing until the whistle was blown. Max, one of the things I noticed there was that right side A gap was wide open, and Matt Young had the handoff fake to him, and had he received the ball there, he would have easily gone into the end zone, probably untouched.
I completely agree. Now we got about 2 minutes left to go in this game. Things are heating up for that Mayfield defense as Sanchez is getting things lit up. Sanchez is going to hand it off to number 23, the running back, and he's going to take it in the end zone. That is going to be a Knight touchdown, courtesy of number 23, Josiah Fielder.
What a play, what a drive. Great job by Onate to sticking to what got him there, what got them there. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep doing what you do and take the lead here with 2 minutes left to go in the game.
Exactly, Cameron. Now Onate just boosted their lead up to 2 points, and it's going to be 30-28. Onate looking to make that 31. Enrico is lining up, and he's going to send that right up the uprights. And that is going to make this 31-28 Knights with 1:58 left to go in the game.
So now here we go. This is where it's about to get real interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Max, if I'm Brent Jacquez, I'm in my defensive huddle right now, specifically the secondary huddle, and I am letting them know that this is the absolute most critical point of this game, and they have to step up and guard Gavin Swenson and Austin Say and the other talented Mayfield wide receivers on this drive.
I agree, Cameron. If I'm Mike Bradley on the other side of the field, I'm just doing my best to reassure that my quarterback Lachlan is going to perform and execute, sending passes out to Swenson and Isaac Vance. Put some points on the board. They'll certainly don't be afraid to improvise and kill it on the run game. Whatever works. And we got 1:58 left to go in the game. Trojans down by 3 points. They're just pushing. Rico about to kick off for the Knights. Farthest Trojan kick returners are going to be back at the 5-yard line. The student section is getting really lit. They're up by 3.
Really lit indeed, Max.
Onate kicks off far down the middle, and it is going to be grabbed and taken back by Isaac Vance, who's at the 10. And oof, I was actually surprised they didn't call a targeting foul on Vance right there.
You know, Max, and we saw that earlier in the game. Isaac Vance had an open carry into the defensive secondary, and instead of going around the defender, he ran right through them. And man, what a play there by Isaac Vance to lower his shoulder. Although nothing really positive was gained out of it because the ball is going to be on the 16-yard line for the Trojans.
Indeed, very, very physical back. And we got 152 left to go. Both these crowds are juiced up. I'm hyped too. Let's see here. Laughlin line back up in the shotgun. He's going to take it 3 receivers out to his right. He's looking to his right. He's going to send it out to number 15. The receiver is sat down really quick by that Onate linebacker.
Max, that was almost catastrophic there for the Mayfield Trojans because Torrey Laughlin almost got sacked due to the whiff on the block by number 64, the right tackle, Owen Dozier. Let's see how they respond here on second down with the clock winding down.
Laughlin linebacker on the shotgun. 3 receivers to his left now. He's looking to his left out offensive line. He's scrambling to his left, and he is going to be sacked. Man, that Onate powerful defense that we had been talking about a while before is certainly showing in crunch time, Cameron.
They have, and that was another coverage sack there. The Onate secondary was able to bottle up those wide receivers of the Trojans on their routes, and when they got out past their routes, past their intended routes, it was too deep for Aaron Sanchez to make that throw. He can't be expected to throw the ball 40 yards down the field, and that's why he had to take the sack.
Exactly, Cameron. And the Knights are only up by 3 points now. It's 28-31. So, I mean, even if the Trojans don't get the touchdown, they could certainly get into field goal range and pull this thing into overtime.
Absolutely. And their kicker, we've seen Caleb Conaway has proved to be pretty effective on extra points and on kickoffs. So we'll see maybe later on if he has the range to knock it between the uprights to tie the game and send this thing into overtime. But first, before we even start talking about that, they have to get the ball down the field. It's 3rd and 14 now. It's crunch time. They have to convert.
For sure, Cameron. Things are getting very exciting here at the Field of Dreams. Now, Laughlin having a long conversation with his coaches and fellow offensive teammates, trying to get themselves collected after that very impactful sack in the last play, which will put them at 3rd and 14 with 1:16 left to go in the game.
Let's see how these Mayfield wide receivers, Isaac Vance, Austin C., Gavin Swenson, step up. It's critical. It's crunch time.
This Onate crowd is getting very, very juiced up. When your team is on defense, make all the noise you make so they can sit down some players. Laughlin line back up in the shotgun. 3 receivers out to his left. And he's going to be snapped. He's going to take it running off to his left side. He's going to play the option here, and he's going to be running down the field for a short gain of about 2 yards. And that is going to put the Trojans at, I believe, 3rd and 12.
That's
4th and 12, my apologies.
Down.
4th and 12.
Should be 4th and about 8. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the ball game. This is the ball game for the Onate Knights. They need to step up on defense, and if you're the Mayfield Trojans, you have to convert to keep the game alive.
We brought it back very quickly. Now the clock is running down with about 40 seconds left to go in the game. Laughlin's dropping back, looking out to his right. He's going to send it far downfield, and it is going to be not grabbed. Pass intended for the Mayfield receiver, and that's going to do it, baby. Onate's going to get the ball back, and I'm sure just kneel. But, oh, man. I mean, I think he just overthrew it, Cameron. That receiver was wide open.
Max, I'm not really caring about the football game right now, the X's and O. Look at these emotions right now on this Onate side. Brent Jackwes is acting like he just won the lottery, man. Players cannot believe that they have finally knocked off their crosstown rival, the Mayfield Trojans. Now, it's not over yet, but you can pretty much say that this one's done because of a great defensive stand there by the Onate Knights.
Yeah,
what a great spirited and electric game that we've seen tonight.
For sure, Cameron. I'm sure the entire Onate crowd has to agree with us. Just fantastic job. I mean, it's only a 3-point deficit, but still this Onate defense performed tonight. And under the leadership of Aaron Sanchez and some fantastic running backs like Sal Yanez and Josiah Fielder. Also, they're just going to take the knee. 36 seconds left to go in the game. There's a flag out for an offsides on Mayfield. So people are starting to exit the stadium.
Yeah, Max, I think you can pretty much declare this one to be over. I think Mayfield's just going to, Onate is just going to line up in the victory formation and go celebrate this one. They're obviously very, very excited about the opportunity, not the opportunity, but finally beating the Mayfield Trojans, who've been a consistent power here in southern New Mexico the past few years.
Exactly, and the first duel between two high schools in Las Cruces this year. And the clock is winding down with about 20 seconds left to go in the game. Just again, my name is Max Sanchez. I'm joined here by my partner Cameron Castillo. It's been great broadcasting to you guys here from the Field of Dreams. Clock is winding down right here.
And I want to thank, as Aaron Sanchez lines up under center in the victory formation with 10 seconds left, I want to thank our executive producer, Bill Fox, all our cast and crew here, our director, Luke Tumblin. This is a great opportunity for all of us LCPS kids to get experience in the field of media.
For sure, Cameron. This has been a fantastic experience. The clock is winding down. The game is over. Final score, 31 Onate, 28 Trojans. Now we're going to wind things down here. It's been great broadcasting to you guys. We love you all, and good night.